Welcome back to the Norse Benchwarmers podcast. I'm your host, Colton Smith, here for a live fantasy draft. I should have added that in there as well. Producer Josh Northcutt is here with me, next to co-host Ben Miller.
You're in my spot.
Hey, now, you gave it to me. And then we have special guest, Alex Perez. And over in the director's room, we have director Garrett Jordan.
It would help if I had the camera set up.
Yeah, it sure would. And then, of course, special guest Logan Hatfield. Logan, welcome to the pod. You need to frame that up a little better over there.
Yeah, we're trying.
It'll be all right. They know who I am.
Yeah, well, the people know who you are. But we are here for our fantasy basketball draft. I have been waiting so long for this day. 8 minutes away from draft time. Let's go ahead and take a look at the draft order here. At pick number 1, we have Dunk Dynasty. I believe that's one of Josh's friends.
Yeah, they got top 3 picks. I'm kind of upset about that.
And then number 2, the Toon Squad, another Josh friend. Then we have Andy's, I believe that's Astounding Team, at pick 3. And then at pick 4, we have the basketball newbie, Garrett Jordan, the on-jaw question mark.
Yes, sir.
And then at pick 5, we have the last place
incoming,
Jamison Howard. Okay, I can see the name when I hover over it now. Yeah. That's nice. So Peyton Cox is the Toon Squad, and Nick Meyer is the Dunk Dynasty. And then you have Luke Mays. What's your team name, Josh?
Luke Mays' Last Shot.
It's so good. I love it.
I don't like it.
I was going to say, I feel like a couple people in here don't like it, but I love it.
Yeah.
I might have upset a few people.
That's a game I do not want to look back on.
Not even remotely close.
And then we have Team Hatfield at pick 7.
Yes, sir.
Pick 8, we have Zach Murray up on...
Murray up offense.
Murray up offense. Okay.
I like that.
I need to not cut off the team names here. Or can I just look here? Oh, I can. All right. So then we have Colton's top-notch team. My name's to be determined, depending upon who I draft. And then we have Jimmy's scary team. That's my buddy Jimmy, and Jimmy Bujak. And Alex's Avengers, of course, Alex Perez. And then lastly, we have Ben's best team, who is in my spot in the NFL draft. So welcome to the last pick. But hey, you get the first pick in the second round if you look at it that way.
Sounds great.
That is the draft order. We have 6 minutes left, and none of us here are picking number 1. So let's go around the room. We already know Garrett's going to pick Jaw at number 1. So what would you guys pick, or who would you guys pick at the number 1 overall?
For me, I would definitely go Wemby. I think he just stuffs the stat sheet so much that he's your pretty ideal fantasy player. So that's who I would go with for number 1.
I'm just going to be different and more difficult. Everybody knows I'm a Joker guy, so I take Joker.
For myself, I'm going with Luka Doncic.
Okay. I feel the diversity.
Do what now?
I like the diversity in this room.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you can never sleep on Luka. He's one of the best young guards that we have in the league. So, and I feel like he's going to have a great 2024 and lead the Mavs to possibly an NBA championship.
Possibly, huh? Logan, who do you got over there? I wonder.
I feel like you guys all know who I'm going to pick. His whole life is consistent.
Oh, he's got a Jaw jersey?
Yeah, I know.
Hey. Did he? How long you had that?
About 3 days.
Okay, I was going to say, that has to be new. There's
That's
no
crazy.
way. That's awesome. But Logan, go on.
Yeah, so like I said, his whole life is consistent, and consistency is something you're looking for in fantasy sports. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, you know exactly what you're getting out of him every night, 31 points. So, yeah.
Logan, go ahead and tell the team, the people, who's your favorite team again?
I'm an Oklahoma City Thunder fan.
Okay, just thought I'd double check that.
Just make sure.
Huh?
All right, you gonna add a break a tie, or are you gonna throw somebody completely different up there?
You see, I will say that Jokic has kind of been the guy I would say in most years. I'll go different. I'll go Giannis because nice. I think honestly any of these are an okay answer, just depending upon what you're looking for. But Giannis, I mean, you know he's going to have some 40-point games. You know he's going to have some almost triple-double nights, and he's just an absolute beast. That also, I think a big part of it is just staying healthy. And I know he fights through injuries. He plays games regardless. So, yeah, I think any one of those 5. I am surprised to see DeMontis so high, but I know he was a little darling in fantasy last year. So
you know what's a really beautiful thing? Even though I have pick 6 and we named 5 different players, I know I'm going to get one of them because he's taking Ja.
Yeah, that's true. One of these players is going to fall as that 6th pick. I don't know which one. Definitely not Shea, right?
Yeah, no, Wemby, Joker, and no, actually, I bet Shea falls. I bet that's the one who falls to me.
Okay.
Maybe Giannis.
You won't take Shea if he falls to you, right?
Oh, no, I'm 100%
I
taking
mean,
him just to spite
draft
you.
behind you.
Oh, do you draft right behind me?
Perhaps.
You want to cover my league fee?
You know what?
So we have negotiations going on here with
I'm
just
just saying. Can we trade draft picks?
I mean, it would take more than just that pick because I know how bad you want him. It's kind of one of those things that, like, when you know the team really wants them, you can just take everything they got. So I need a Bryce Young trade offer.
Sources say that pick 5 will actually be drafting Shea if he's available there.
Oh, 100%.
yeah, that's a great point. That's a great point.
What's great is if any of these people in front of us are all listening, like, oh, I'm going to take Shea and just get all the picks.
They know they have the power now. Well, now we're in the portion of the rundown that says mindless yapping until draft time. So, you guys got any mindless yaps?
I mean, isn't that what we were just doing?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. That's a great point. That's kind of just the whole show is mindless
Actually, no.
yaps.
Even though we only got 2.5 minutes, very quickly, I want to talk about the WNBA and throw it Alex's way. First off, I heard this is the last year of the 5-game series. I'm grateful for that
Me
because
too.
that series deserves 7 games.
For sure, yeah.
Definitely.
But what's your thoughts on the complaining on the ref call? And you got about 2 minutes.
The traveling call is fair because she definitely did travel before the foul. The foul is 100% a foul. Every replay is looking at the wrong angle. There's another angle that clearly shows Brianna Stewart was hit on her elbow and arm. So I don't think the calls were that bad. To miss a traveling call that late in that big of a game is pretty egregious. But besides that one, I don't think the calling was that bad. I mean, and if it was consistent on both sides.
Fair enough. Yeah, I just saw that was headline news. And they were just kind of talking about the refs need to be more consistent and this and that. But I didn't see the play, so I'm going to first admit that I was watching football and then I passed out. It was a very long day.
Yeah, I was having a mind melt because I was having to watch the Steelers game and Russ stink it up in the first half, and then watch Game 5 at the same time. My brain was hurting, honestly.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of Russ, I think somebody on this panel predicted that he would possibly be back, but we're not going to.
Yeah, he did okay. Second most points since
No, Alex, you're always the most supporting Russ guy.
2019. Yeah, I've always loved him. Everybody knows that. Don't watch.
You never
the
had any inkling of. Justin
Don't look
Fields
at the
as
tweet
guy.
for the podcast. I've always trusted and loved Russ.
Right.
So
And then
can't wait to see what happens. in the
Speaking of
future.
which, make sure you check the man's podcast out. He has one himself,
Absolutely.
Beyond
Yeah,
the
in this
Score.
very studio.
Thank you.
We did not advertise that last time, so
Yeah.
I made sure to advertise it this time because I am a good friend.
Thank you very much.
Oh, there's Mr. Potato Man. I realized he was hanging out with me.
There
Oh,
he
there
is.
it is. We'll put him right here.
And how did you come up with Smush Parker?
Oh, literally just sat here for 10 minutes when we should have been preparing for the show. As you may have noticed, 5 minutes late. That was group effort there, but yeah, Smush Parker just came to mind. I don't think it's one I brought up around the guys yet, so I figured I'd put it on the
Lakers
board.
I'm going
legend.
to say former Laker, right? He was
Lakers
part of the
legend.
championship team,
Like,
though, right?
guys,
He was, yeah.
it's like New Year's. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Duck Dynasty is on the clock. There's.
And we're muted.
I think we did that for the NFL draft too.
Even better though. Pick
Who
number
could
one.
that have possibly been, guys? I have no idea.
But even better.
Surely everyone's
Ricky
confused.
Rubio.
Pick,
Ricky Rubio.
pick number one is not in the chat, so that's great. I'm going to shoot him a message, but he's going to get Wemby or Joker. So
Oh yeah, Murray up offense will also not be here. He is at work, but he's fine with the auto draft. So
He's okay with that. Okay, so I won't be getting whoever falls there. The computer draft is kind of weird. Like if I try to move just like an inch, it just puts me down 20 players.
Yeah, it's kind of wigging out.
Yeah. So I just gonna have to wait until my players come up. I can't.
I did
look
shoot
ahead.
him a message. I'm like, hey, we were drafting, by the way. You're number one. So
Oh, he's got 35 seconds.
yeah, maybe he'll check in, maybe he won't. But
I say you should get Bronny James as a punishment.
for sure, yeah.
I mean,
First pick.
Joe JoJo would be just as bad as a punishment in my opinion, but I'm kidding, by the way. Clearly, JoJo's not that bad. But
Yeah.
what's your guys' thoughts on him basically saying like the back-and-backs are completely done and he's not going to play any?
I feel like he just hasn't played that regardless, anyways. So I don't think
Yeah.
it's really anything new.
Yeah.
He's just kind of putting it out there in the air.
Fair
And
enough.
here we go. Who's the first pick?
Joker.
The Joker. I assume that was just going to be the auto pick.
Yeah, Otto's got him number 1, so they automatically go in order. So we'll be able to see his picks basically
All
from
right, who's Toon Squad got? Luka Doncic. I don't hate that pick whatsoever. That's
Well, I know my boy Andy's happy right here. He'll be taking Wemby.
that's you can't hate that pick either, man.
I mean, I think it's probably the right number 1. I just wanted to be different, so that's why I said Joker over Wemby. But Wemby
Right.
is and should be the number 1 pick.
See him pull up a logo 3.
No.
Yeah.
Did he
from
hit
the,
it?
Oh yeah,
Oh, my
absolutely. Nobody would talk about it if you missed it.
Who are they playing?
Hell if I know.
And there
I
goes
just-
Wemby.
I just
and now
saw-
here goes Ja.
And where does Jaw go? Not here. He's on Jaw.
No, he took Ja.
Yeah,
And
I said he's on Jaw.
oh yeah.
He's on
And now last
on
place
Jaw.
incoming. He'll be. I bet he takes AD because he said his goal is to get every single Wildcat possible. So I'm gonna go. He takes a chance and goes AD.
What is Shy not a
Yeah,
Wildcat?
I can say, yeah.
I'm stupid.
Yeah,
All right,
SGA went to Northern Kentucky.
This is the most painful part of the draft by far.
Yeah. I mean, he wasn't gonna
Having
fall.
to see my guy go. Like,
He wasn't gonna fall to you anyway. I was 100% taking him, but I'll gladly take Giannis. Just take AD. You still get a Kentucky player. You can be happy.
in light of that, I'm going to take a former Thunder legend who's going to stuff the stat sheet this year.
It's a bonus.
Interesting.
Bonus.
Okay,
That is a
okay.
Thunder legend.
We are on the same team, aren't we? Yeah, he tuned me out there.
No, I don't think we are now that you say that.
So you said Murray up offense is not going to be here,
Is
correct?
on the auto draft, yeah.
Okay,
So we
cool.
have
So we got
about a minute.
to yap.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always the fun time of this show.
Yapping. We're having issues with the pick thingamajig.
Oh yeah.
Garrett just forgot to put the picks up there. That's okay. There's also the chat's going to be in there too, so that's great. Let's
So AD and Joel Embiid, I feel like they're almost the same kind of player. They play limited games. They put up really solid numbers. Which of those two would you prefer? Alex, I already know your answer. Don't answer.
AD played 76 games last season. Anyways,
I was
go
going to
ahead.
say I think there's a little bit of a difference there, but I would take at the peak of their powers, I would take Joel Embiid. I mean, he with AD, you have the spacing. Whether he can space the floor, it's just a matter of him wanting to a lot. And Joel Embiid very happily spaces the floor, and I think that if he can stay healthy and they can get Paul George back, which I don't even know what happened with him. If he's like how long he's out, so
I think it's his knee. I could be mistaken.
oh, it's his knee. I saw that very clearly,
Yeah.
but I don't know how long he's going to be out for. And I'm on the clock now.
Oh, he took Halliburton. Poor Golden.
Man, I'm so disappointed.
So I
I guess
guess-
I'll just have to settle for Anthony Edwards.
Oh,
Oh,
hey, man,
shucks.
you hated a lot on Ant, and the T-Wolves, but now you just take Ant.
Well, yeah, I'm going to take the second coming of Michael Jordan. I can
Okay,
hate on the
that's-
T-Wolves, but he's also going to be good.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Jimmy's scary team, who is not also in the draft. Y'all are great. So yeah, we got another minute here to stall. Let's see. So yeah, AD, Joel. What about you, Ben? Which one would you prefer?
I mean, that's a tough question to answer. But I mean, you're talking about two really talented NBA players. But I would probably lean towards Embiid if he can stay healthy. Though I feel like he can be so dominant, and I look for him to have a great year this year with Maxey and Paul George.
I mean, that's the MVP winner at the peak of his powers. Not that Anthony couldn't at the peak of his powers, but I mean,
You're just basically asking, do you want the offensive all-star or do you want the defensive all-star?
yeah,
It's one of
exactly.
the two,
Yeah.
And with speaking of the MVP situation, he's got to play so many games though to be nominated, right? He can't miss.
60, I think it is.
So with the not playing back to backs, will he miss that?
Yeah. He's
Okay.
If he doesn't play back-to-backs, he still end up going to play like 50 games probably. So
And is Boston going to play Jason Tatum more than he played in the Olympics? Just a weird
They
question.
might. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I would sure hope so.
Definitely. I would like to see that too.
That dude is he's got a little chip on his shoulder. I mean, he always puts a chip on his shoulder by himself.
Yeah.
By the way, Garrett, when your next pick happens, I need the most
just picked?
analytical response possible.
Yep. Anthony Davis
So
is now
AD
off
just
the
went.
board.
So
Alex
Alex
Avengers
has got to be disappointed. Now
Looking-
he's losing all his
Thanks, Tom.
Kentucky
Thanks,
guys.
looking at
Yeah.
Jason Tatum.
I'm not worried about
Potentially.
Kentucky guys.
There's a guy named
Will
LeBron
Alex
James
draft
on the
Jason
board.
And he's no longer on the board. Should have seen that coming.
Yeah. that
And
was
bye
coming.
bye LeBron.
Okay.
A little too little easy, huh?
Yeah, Alex, who's your favorite team again?
Oh, the Lakers are, yeah. I guess so.
Potentially.
All right, Ben, you're on the clock. You got 2 picks back to back. What are you going?
All right. So for my first pick, I'm going with Jason Tatum.
Okay.
And now you're back on the
Solid
clock.
pick.
Yep.
Respect it.
All right. And pick number 2, I'm going with, man, tough decision here, but I'm going with Jalen Brunson.
Wow.
Yep. One of the hottest players last year in the postseason, and I cannot wait to watch him this year with Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah, I mean, there was arguments for him being the best point guard in the East, so
Yeah.
I think those are definitely valid arguments. But Alex is back on the board. What is he cooking up over there?
Austin Reeves.
Austin. Austin.
Nah, he's all about the
Reeves.
Dalton Connect.
He just gets the entire Lakers as his team.
I hate how this scrolls, honestly.
Oh, it's terrible. It's
And back-
terrible.
Back to Brunson real quick. In the postseason last year, didn't he get injured? I couldn't remember.
Brunson.
Yeah, Jalen Brunson.
I think he was like the one player. Like he got hurt a little bit, but
Yeah.
he played through it. I know he definitely played through it, but
Yeah.
he might have been a little injured there towards the end.
Yeah.
That whole Knicks team was pretty beat up. So
Mhm.
yeah, I think. Who do we pick?
Cat.
Cat is off the board.
And then
Trae
went
Young is off the board, and look who falls in my lap: Donovan Mitchell. I will happily take Mr. Almost 30 points per game.
Yep.
Yeah, I think Donovan Mitchell's always kind of underrated on these rankings. I've had him for like 2 years in a row now, and he's just been, so long as he's healthy, he's been a great player for me. So I'm happy to bring him back on the squad.
I would have won Embiid, but if he's sitting out that many games and you can't even trust if he's going to be healthy,
Yeah,
I
that's
can't-
what I'm.
that's
that's
not a
what I'm
risk I
looking
can
at
take.
here.
That's what I was going to say. Logan, you're on the clock. What are you thinking? Because, I mean,
Yeah,
JoJo is sitting there.
I mean, he's sitting there, but for a guy who probably, won't play as many games, I think he's going to miss even more games than that. If I had to guess, I'm gonna go with the guy who will just do whatever he's told, especially at the Olympics. He's Devin Booker.
Okay.
And
Good one.
There's a lot of Kentucky players just flying off this board. Man, those talented. Man, if you just had like an all Kentucky team and they just all teamed up together,
Yep.
it'd be stupid.
yeah.
Yeah, it would be absolutely
I
ridiculous.
mean, based on this, we're already at like the 6th or 7th man on that Kentucky team. So
now I'm
We're
looking
in the second unit here.
and I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, so I like Joel Embiid. So, but listening to you guys talk about it, I'm like, I'm iffy on that. Siakam, not a fan of. Kevin Durant, I would do it just to piss off Andy because that's his favorite player ever. Zion, I'll never take a Duke player. So that leaves me with, I think my favorite player in the NBA and a guy who I think is going to have a great year. I'll take Scotty Barnes.
Okay.
I think he's a walking bucket in the face of Toronto, clearly. They need to get him some little extra help because I don't like R.J. Barrett being the number 2, number 3, pending what you would want to do with quickly. Yeah, with quickly. Another player up there would be nice, but I just don't know who you could go get to pair with that group a little bit better. So, and then right after that, Kevin Durant did go.
I want you to know Kevin Durant is also my favorite basketball player of all time. That's the man that got me into it.
I was going to say, I was curious who made you.
As a Thunder fan, I find that surprising how it all. ended.
It's all water under the bridge now. Ever since he joined the Nets that year, those Nets teams, regardless of what you thought about them, they were pretty fun to watch. That was after he left Golden State. I felt like.
By the way, on Ja, you are on the clock,
Yeah.
So
and you have a minute.
So it would seem.
I need an analytical response to this. I need
All
the
right.
most professional NBA thing you got.
Here's what you're gonna get. Here's what you're gonna get. All right. I'm flying down the
Be
draft
nice if the
board
people
here.
could see it.
I'm flying down the draft board.
I thought it was going to go no look draft.
Holy crap, that's way down the draft board.
Wow.
Bro shot
right.
down the draft board.
Why DeMar DeRozan? Was it the first name you recognized?
He wasn't
No,
even
it
looking.
No,
he
it's
wasn't even,
definitely not the first name I recognize on that list. But I remember in my limited time watching highlights of the NBA, seeing some of the stuff that he does, and to me, DeMar DeRozan is a very explosive player. And when you talked about him on our episode going to the Kings and potentially having an explosive year with the Kings, it just kind of like flipped the switch in my brain.
So I completely brainwashed him. Logan's so lost over there. Like, what is this idiot saying?
I'm really just thinking, I'm a fan of DeRozan's game. I can go for a mid-range jumper every now and then, but he's not the first option in Sacramento, man. I'm confused. That's De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah, De'Aaron Fox is definitely, and then Sabonis is
And
horribly
Sabonis.
nice.
Yeah.
My first round pick.
Don't watch ball, dog. Don't watch ball.
Hey, you know what? I can respect the DeRozan fan. I'll let you go for that, but your analytical response just had me a bit perplexed.
you would have been off with I wasn't looking.
Just to catch everybody up, we just got Paulo Banchero, Joel Embiid finally off the board, the Toon Squad, Steph Curry, Maxey, and then Siakam. Very surprised to see Banchero go to Andy's astounding team. When I talk the biggest North Carolina fan I know, that would be Andy.
Hey, he's in the business of winning.
Hey, that he is.
Business
You gotta
of
respect
winning.
it.
He said it's the third fantasy league. He's going to beat me in this year, and he's probably not wrong.
Yeah, we'll have to make sure we keep them updated on the picks since we don't have it up there.
Yeah,
But
I don't know what's going on with that. I can't get it to appear in the graphic for whatever reason.
yeah, figures. It's all right. It's not your fault.
This guy.
But yeah, so
Sorry, folks.
we're moving along to the third to fifth round section where we're going to talk about hot takes and bold predictions, which can be kind of considered in the same. Anybody want to get started? Nobody wants to get started.
I'll just get started by
Yeah,
saying
go right ahead.
I'm looking at my hot takes right now and realizing they're all questions that are going to get answered later on in the broadcast. So, I mean, I can still give them now. Obviously my first hot take, I think Shai Gilgeous-Alexander finally gets that MVP. I think he's taking it home this year. I think he's going to prove why the award is called Most Valuable Player, not Best Player in the league. I have another one. Josh, we talked about our teams that we liked. Give me the Phoenix Suns. I think they're going to make a deep run this year. I think if they're healthy, they make that run. I'm saying it.
So you buy Bradley Beal's comment. I guess I should start then, that if he would have played 70, 80 games, that they would have been a lot better.
I think so, yeah. I think just having a guy like Beal on the floor, he said it himself, how are they going to guard all of us? Obviously, they figured out a way, but he didn't play that much. So I think if you have another guy like that can score, I think it's going to change their offense a little bit.
Yeah, no, I agree with that statement.
And I am actually on the clock now, and I'm
That you
seeing some players here. And I think I'm going to go with another Thunder legend. A guy I had my eye on here was Damian Lillard, but I will never draft him in anything. Not the biggest Dame fan. I'm going to go with another Thunder
Okay, I
legend.
forgot my Dame shirt at home.
Sixth man of the year, James Harden.
James Harden.
All right.
I mean,
No way this guy fell in my lap.
I mean,
Alperen Şengün, you are a part of Colton's team.
I was going to ask, because I was looking up Sengun, and then I was going back and forth. I took Cade Cunningham. Which one of those two do you like better overall?
I mean, if we're talking like, it's a weird question because I feel like Cade's just super held back by his situation, and
Yeah, can we get him out of,
He could
like,
be
Detroit, please?
injury prone. As far as fantasy player goes, Alperen Şengün is the guy you want. Yeah, he's going to give you points. He's going to give you rebounds. He's going to give you assists. He's honestly, people call him the mini Joker.
That's what I was going to say.
Something
Yeah,
like
I've heard,
that. Yeah. And I think it's true. I will say I did hesitate on him this year because when he was gone from the Rockets, they were a better team low key, but that could just be a part of Jalen Green just going off. So I don't know if that was necessarily a part of Alperen Şengün leaving, but it could be. We'll just have to wait and see. But I think regardless, he's going to go out there and get some points. It could age poorly. It could age well, but he's another guy I've had on my team for 3 years, so I like the consistency here. I'll go ahead and piggyback off the Rockets for my hot take is that they will be a top 5. And this isn't necessarily what my final prediction is, but I think they could be a top 5 team in the West. I think with Ime Udoka as their coach. They have a really good core, and they're a great defense with a pretty solid offense. They kind of remind me of the Magic, but with actual playmakers. I think Reed Shepard's going to be in Rookie of the Year talks. I think Jalen Green, I don't know if it's most improved would really fit his category because he already had a couple good seasons, but I think he'll definitely improve a lot. Jabari Smith Jr., he's got to fit in at some point. And, Fred VanVleet was a pretty underrated player last year, so at the end of the day, I like this Rockets team. I think in just 1 year we saw this go from a glorified AAU team to
Ben, you're on the
playing
clock.
threat.
Yeah, I got it.
And then, so I guess, Ben, you want to announce your picks?
Yeah, give me 1 sec. All right. So,
You already went. I didn't see it.
I picked Kyrie Irving,
Yep.
and I picked Ruby Gobert.
That's Alex's favorite player ever.
It's the best defender in the league, apparently. Every single year.
I typically get Rudy Gobert because I'm in the business of winning, and he gets a lot of boards. He's typically averaging about 40 fantasy points per game, so that's a good pickup, no doubt. You just got to separate the art from the artist, like Kanye.
Yeah, and also I'm excited to see what Kyrie Irving can do with Luka Doncic. I mean, we obviously saw it last year. They're arguably one of the best duos in the NBA from last season, and Ruby Gobert, I feel like he's going to pick up where he left off. Huh?
Rudy.
Oh, what did I say?
You're saying Ruby.
Oh, whoops, Rudy.
No,
that's
you're
what I
good.
meant to say. But I feel like he's going to pick up where he left off from last season, be the defensive player that he is, and it would not surprise me if he's a candidate for Defensive Player of the Year.
All right, I'm gonna leave Lauri Markkanen, or I'm gonna take Lauri Markkanen and leave Jalen Williams on the board for Logan. So I was thinking about it, but
You kind of read my mind.
That stinks. I really wanted Martin.
Because I think he's gonna explode onto the scene this year. I mean, obviously, everyone saw what he's been doing the last 2 years, but give me J-Dub.
You just are building an OKC team over there, aren't you?
I'm doing something over here. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, man. I'm looking at this, and the thing that worries me is everything I'm looking at says injured. And I don't want Fred VanVleet, and then injured. So it's getting a little ugly.
one thing I will mention, injured is not as damning in basketball as it is in football.
True.
Especially a lot of people are just sitting out. Because I think they're technically supposed to play preseason games, so they're coming up with fake injuries to not play in preseason games.
That's fair.
a very
One of the
good
guys
point.
I was looking at, though, is definitely out for the first week, possibly. But I'll take the chance in the long run. I'm very high on this team, I think, as we all are, and I'm going to take Triple J, Jaren Jackson Jr. I love what he's going to be able to do with the rebound monster with Edie, and I think that Memphis team is going to be very scary.
Definitely.
However, the hot take that I'm going to throw out there is that Zion Williamson will be in contention, and by contention, I'm saying Final 3, Final 5, whatever you want to say, for MVP. He will play enough health. He will be healthy enough, and he will play enough games. This is the breakout of Zion that we've all expected to see since he went to that one school in North Carolina that nobody likes. But I think it is a huge year for Zion, and I think it's even possibly a bigger year for that Pelicans team.
You see, under normal circumstances, I would absolutely agree with you. But you know what's going on over there in New Orleans?
What now?
He's allegedly going to be their center.
Oh yeah, we talked about that. I mean, that's a very undersized.
I did not hear
position.
that. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's apparently that's what they're going to run him at center, which I think is okay offensively because he's already been used to going up against bigger opponents, but defensively he's just going to get bodied. Like he's going to go up against Jokic and he's just looking up at him.
I feel like once that happens once or twice, they're going to be like, okay, let's go get a center. You know what I mean? I don't think they're going to go small ball the entire year. So I mean, I could be wrong.
Yeah, that's just the only thing I would worry about him in terms of being an MVP candidate. Being out of position can really hurt somebody's career.
That makes me think though, like why would they just let Valanciunas walk like that?
No, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I guess like
that.
bringing on DeJounte Murray kind of like spreads you a little thin money wise, but I mean like you got to make at least some push to get Valanciunas back there because I mean that's a lot of size, and I'm not the biggest Valanciunas fan, but I mean like you know what you're getting when you have him, so I feel like they're gonna be. I think they're gonna be desperately in need of a traditional center by the All-Star break.
Yeah, no doubt. I think that's going to be like we're going to be looking at them as like a play-in team, and they're going to need a center if they want to be above the play-in team. At least in my eyes. Maybe they show me something else. I mean, there was a time when PJ Tucker was a center, but that was a little different, different system or different era, I guess you could say.
PG just went off the board. So Andy is not scared of Paul George's injury and just took him. So very interested to see that.
Has there been a timetable on that yet?
I have not seen.
I was gonna say I haven't.
Yeah, I was
seen
about to
anything
ask
either.
that. Yeah,
But you know what? Since I mentioned that, I think the Pelicans will maybe make a move to get a big man or whatever. I'll put everybody on the clock or whatever you want to say. And when by everybody, I mean people who've watched the NBA. So Garrett, don't worry about it. You don't have to answer this.
Let's go.
I can't wait to see how Garrett's team ends up.
Logan.
This will be so much fun.
Logan, who do you think the first superstar could be traded at the trade deadline? Like, the NBA is always good for that. They always give you that blockbuster trade. Who do you think it could be?
If I had to guess, I'm thinking, depending on where the Atlanta Hawks are, Trae Young.
Nope, I totally agree with that.
yeah, definitely.
Where do you think, like, who do you think's looking for him?
I would say, like, a team like a possible maybe Orlando Magic, depending on where they are. If they're, I mean, obviously trading in the division's kind of, it's a bit taboo. But I feel like if the Magic are kind of in a spot where they can contend, I feel like that's someone they could shoot for to really like bolster that roster.
Oh, that's a great landing
For
spot
sure,
for
yeah.
Trae.
Yeah,
I
for
would
sure.
say.
I would love that. You know, I've been like on the Magic going to get themselves a superstar, a veteran presence, and I know Trae's not like the definition of a veteran, but I think he would help drastically with Banchero and Wagner and basically everything else they're building over there and signing. But it just doesn't seem like an Orlando move to me.
They need scoring in Orlando bad. It would
Yeah.
very much help.
Terribly.
But
Anybody
like you
with
said,
a
I don't think
shot.
it's an Orlando move, but we'll see.
Yeah,
what
I would-
about? Go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, I would definitely like to see Trae Young match up with Paolo Banchero, though. I feel like they can be a really good duo on the court as well. So we'll see what happens for sure.
You got any hot takes, Ben?
Hot takes, yes. So I think the Grizzlies will make the playoffs. I'm excited to see what John Morant and Zach Edey will do on the court. So especially with Edey's size, I mean, we all know the type of player he was at Purdue, and I feel like he matches up with Ja really well. So I think it's going to be a big year for Memphis, I think.
Yeah. You'll be interested to hear my West standings because
Yeah.
I kind of have a caveat on that, but we'll save it for the end of the show when we talk about our playoff standings.
Actually, I have two more if I can go ahead.
Go right ahead.
All right. So I got Luka Doncic. I think he'll lead the league in points and assists.
Genesis, that's good.
Yep. And I don't know if this is a bold take or not. I mean, we obviously know this is going to happen. Wemby is going to be an all-star this year.
Yeah. No, I don't know if that's a bold take. Or at least I agree with that bold take if it is a bold one.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, with Stephon Castle and Chris Paul supporting him in the backcourt, though, I feel like they can be a really good trio. So
Tell me about Jalen Johnson in like 10 seconds.
He's a player on the Hawks.
That
He
doesn't
just signed
help.
an extension today, 5 years,
Yeah,
150
he
mil, fully
did.
guaranteed.
Okay.
He's the type of guy that like everyone sees a higher ceiling for than what he's shown so far, but he has shown the flashes to warrant that kind of talk.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't watched an abundance of Hawks games to give you an answer, definite answer. I know he's not a bad pick here if that's what you're
I'll
asking.
just take Franz. I'll go
That's-
with somebody.
that's
a little more
another-
comfortable.
that's
That's
another
a better
great
pick
pick.
for sure.
Went to
Yeah.
college. I
another
would have been
great
shocked to
pick.
see you.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't
pick
take
him
Kobe.
Captain Kobe, yeah. It was,
My rankings are a little bit different than what ESPN is. Kobe is not that high on my thing. But I do think, which will bring me to another one of the hot takes, Josh Giddey or Kobe White will become an absolute like superstar in Chicago. They will be up there for an all-star type discussion. One of those two are going to have the breakout year. Hint, one of those two will win most improved player for me, in my opinion. I don't know if it's the proper way to award them. I don't know how that exactly works.
Yeah.
But I think either Giddey, the triple-double machine, or Kobe, Mr. Buckets, one of those two are going to absolutely break out.
Giddy's still on the board.
Interesting, Giddy. I love the
Giddey is
take
still on
there.
the board.
You know, obviously, I'm a bit of a homer with him, but he was just a guy who there was not enough ball to go around for him in Oklahoma City.
Yep.
And I think he's gonna have that in Chicago. Like he's gonna be able to be the guy. And I can't wait to see what he does. I think him running the offense. By the way, I am drafting Emmanuel quickly.
Nice.
But yeah, I'm a big fan of what his fit's going to be in Chicago, being able to have the ball in his hand a little bit more. Obviously, swapping him for Caruso, I think both players got put into better fits.
Definitely agree with that.
I'll gladly take Evan Mobley here.
Dang.
Alex, I know you're about to be on the clock.
Really
so
wanted
I'll throw it another way then. Who do you think the big superstar is going to be traded?
The big superstar. I was trying to think of an answer, and Trae Young's definitely probably the best answer. For the record, by the way, I'm not really a Trae Young fan. I got this on sale for like $50, and I thought it was a cool enough jersey. I figured it might be worth something for my kids or whatnot, but it was during that Trae Young Hawks run. But I'm honestly struggling to think of one. I'm trying to think of a struggling situation. Could James Harden be the one to? Is he still a superstar? I would say at least by name. I would just have to go with James Harden because he's kind of been in one place for too long. He doesn't like doing that.
Fair enough. And like I said, Alex, when you're done picking on the wraparound, I'll throw it towards you. But
Okay.
before that, I will make the answer. I think it's going to be Himmy. I think Jimmy Butler is going to get traded from Miami, and they're going to do a whole nother reset down there. What superstar they're going to get in return, because Pat Riley loves his superstars, I'm not 100% sure. But I do think Jimmy Butler and Tyler Hero will be out of Miami before the year's over.
Wow.
That's an interesting take.
When Pat Riley calls both of you out and basically tells...
He called out Jimmy Butler?
He told Jimmy to shut the hell up, basically.
Oh, he did say that, didn't he?
Yeah, he basically told him to stop talking if he's not going to be playing.
Miles
So,
Turner's off the board.
so yeah, him and Hero both kind of got called out by the Godfather, and when the Godfather's calling you out, attention is noticed, in my opinion.
Anybody here ever watch the Showtime Lakers? I'm sure you have, right?
Yeah, for sure.
That's a great show.
Shouldn't
I
have got canceled.
I know, that's so annoying. I haven't finished it yet, but I watched that first season. Yeah, it's one of my favorite shows I ever
It's
watched.
a really great show.
You watched that, Logan?
I did not. I wanted to get into it, but the one that I started to watch but then ran out of time was I was watching the Clippers.
Oh, yeah.
Clipped.
Yeah, I
I
heard
thought
that
that
was
was-
a little bit interesting.
It
Yeah.
was really interesting.
It just feels weird that they have their own show.
Yeah, I know. The Los Angeles Clippers get a little mini series. I found that strange. Yeah, I mean they picked great actors though. I will say.
By the
Great
way-
cast.
Great casting for sure.
By the way, the fact that you all mentioned Kobe White and then he goes, and I was hoping he could wrap around to me. I'm blaming all y'all on that.
That's fair.
No, that's not our fault. If he's
No,
on top of the board, he's going to go.
It's no, I'm gonna say it was literally an auto pick. I should have paid attention to that when I was looking at my rankings compared to ESPN. But Ben, I do like that Brandon Ingram pick. Obviously, like I said, I'm a big believer in the Pelicans this year, and a lot's gonna have to do with Ingram. But I could also see Ingram having to get moved if they're gonna try to get a center.
Really?
Wouldn't he be the face that probably gets moved since the Murray they just got and Zion's the face of the team?
Yeah, that was one that kind of came to mind. If the small ball isn't working, do they move Brandon Ingram? Because there has been disgruntled might not be the right word for it, but there's been rumors about it. There was the whole deal with I honestly there was a brief moment I thought he was on the Hawks and then realized the trade got changed or something. And then I realized, oh, okay, he's still on the Pelicans. But yeah, I don't know. I'd say Ingram's probably a pretty safe bet. Oh shoot, I'm up. I gotta lock in.
Lakers, obviously, fan. Could you see them trading for a big name to add to the big two, or do you think they're just going to go with this youth movement?
They want to do it so bad, so I'm sure they'll be in talks at least.
And
I
would
could
it be Trey? You think?
I could definitely see it being Trey.
Yeah.
There's some contention there with D'Lo. It may change with the new coach, but I could definitely see a big trade being made. But to speak to a superstar, I think, like Colton said, James Harden is almost certainly out the door. That leads in actually to one of my hot takes. Not so hot anymore since Kawhi's out for an indefinite amount of time, but the Clippers are definitely missing the playoffs. James Harden's not going to be happy. He'll probably ask for a trade a month in.
If he hasn't already.
Yeah. And then I'll just go through my other ones since I have some time now. I think Cam Thomas wins the scoring title.
Wow.
And
Really?
for the Nets, I think he pretty much has free reign over that team scoring-wise now. So I think he'll put up ungodly numbers, even if it's inefficient as all get out. And then my last one is Wemby will have the first quadruple-double in NBA since 1994.
Really?
Ooh.
Yeah, he is the first rookie since David Robinson, the last person to have a quadruple double. To what was it? To have a 10-block triple double. So I think he is the right man to get that quadruple double done.
Definitely could see it happen. That's actually a deep dive for 94. Who did you say did it? Do you know?
David Robinson.
David Robinson. That's kind of a legend, you know. The
Yeah.
Admiral, no big
Right.
deal. Yeah, no, that's definitely. I wonder if I can bet that. Anyway,
It's reach time.
I was actually funny enough thinking the same thing.
like right,
Like, is there like a prop for the whole season? Like, is he gonna get a quadruple double? Because I would bet that.
yeah, no.
Reach time?
I think it is reach time.
I
guys.
already gave my reach.
I
picked up Brandon Miller.
I want to draft a guy who's going to get the stats.
Yeah, there it is.
You're a dick. That was literally my
There
next
it
pick.
is.
All right, well that's no fun. All right,
Drafting for
Have to
wins.
do it, I'm
This will be my
sorry.
first
I'm
year
sorry.
without Josh Giddey on my fantasy team since he came in the NBA.
Well, I don't like any of these names. Oh, well, my rankings weren't even up, and it doesn't help any. They're still ugly names. Oh boy.
Well, anyways, we've moved on to the 6th round, so it is time to start looking at our playoff brackets. Do you want to just everyone go around and give like the East and then go the West? Go
Sounds
around
good
just
to me.
so we're not just sitting here naming off names. I need to pull mine up really quick, or actually no, it's just right here.
Do you want me to get us started?
Yeah, go right ahead.
All right. Eastern Conference first.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So I got the Boston Celtics number 1.
Okay.
Got the New York Knicks at number 2. The Philadelphia 76ers at number 3. Orlando Magic at number 4. Indiana at number 5, and
Love that.
the Milwaukee Bucks at number 6. And my play-in teams as of right now are the Magic, the Heat, the Raptors, and the Hawks.
Okay. I like that a lot. I'll just go ahead and give mine. I have New York at number 1. I'm very high on this team. You'll see that as we go through these predictions.
Makes sense.
I have the Celtics at number 2. I actually have Cleveland at number 3, which is probably a hot take, but this is a team that won about 50 games last year with all the injuries that they had. If they have just a fraction of those injuries, I think they are in that 3 spot. So give me Cleveland with new coach Kenny Atkinson, who I'm also very high on, made D'Lo look like an all-NBA talent. And Milwaukee at number 4. Then the 76ers at number 5, mostly just because Embiid's only playing like 50 games and if that, and the Paul George situation. So I just see them slipping. I also have Milwaukee slipping because Doc Rivers is their head coach. I pretty much just went off of bias here. Indiana at number 6, I could easily see them being a play-in team. Orlando at number 7, Miami at number 8, and then Atlanta and Charlotte just on the outside of the play-in looking in.
Garrett, you're on the clock. 15 seconds.
Yes, I am, and I'm picking a funny name.
Of course.
Oh, Jonas Valanciunas.
That is not the funny name I picked.
Oh.
That's Tingus Pingus.
That's
right
Oh,
there, man.
Tingus. Of course he gets Tingus
We just
Pingus.
drafted Tingus Pingus.
He got Tingus Pingus. That's
I don't
a
know.
good
Okay,
pick.
This might be more analytical for you, Josh. If you want
I'd be
this.
very excited to hear
something
this.
something tells me that one of our teams at some point is going to need a center, and I feel like having Porzingis in my back pocket as a trade piece is not a bad option.
That's good.
I mean, that's
Centers
actually
are kind of like the running back of basketball drafts, if you ask me. I feel
And
like
we all know what happened when I failed on getting running backs this year for Fed.
yeah. Hey, you've been turning around. You've been
I
turning
picked
around.
up Kareem Hunt, Kareem Hunt's now like one of my favorite players because he's literally saved my season. But
All right,
things you shouldn't be
that's-
saying as a Bengals fan.
Yeah, let's-
Anyway,
let's not
Alex, you
say
got your
that.
list?
Yeah. By the way, Garrett Porzingis is out till December. Anyways,
I wasn't gonna tell him.
so for my East, I have Boston number 1, New York number 2, Milwaukee number 3 because Doc Rivers is a good regular season coach,
Good point.
not so much in the playoffs.
Point, yep.
And they'll be healthy. I think they added some good pieces. 4, I have Philly. 5, I have Cleveland. 6, I have Orlando. 7 is your Pacers.
Fair enough.
8 is Miami. I wanted Chicago to be in my top 8, but I just don't see it. But I still think they make it at 9, and then Atlanta at 10.
Yeah, I right. I think we kind of had all the same players there. You didn't say the Hornets, did you?
No.
I think I was the only one. Unless
Definitely not.
Logan has something different over there. What do you got, Logan?
My Eastern Conference looks like this: number 1, Boston; number 2, Milwaukee;
Okay.
number 3, New York; number 4, Orlando; number 5, Philadelphia; number 6, Indiana; and then my
Thank you.
play-in looks like number 7, Miami; number 8, Cleveland; number 9, Charlotte; and number 10, Miami.
Okay, so we both like Charlotte then. I think if LaMelo Ball is healthy, that's definitely a play.
Oh yeah,
without a
LaMelo
doubt,
Ball is
yeah.
an all-star when healthy, and
Oh.
I would love to see what a full season of LaMelo Ball is going to look like.
I want to make sure I heard you correctly. You said you got Cleveland in the playing game then.
I do.
What
I'm
makes
not-
you so
I'm-
down on them compared to other people? Because you all had them in correctly, like fairly easily, and you had them as a 3.
I had 5.
And you had them
8.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I'm just really not as high on Cleveland as I feel like most people are. I think having the Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell backcourt, like it's fun in the regular season, I guess, but I just really think that I think they're going to take a step back this year. I really don't know if that's the team that I don't think they took the necessary steps to really take that next step. So yeah, I'm just not as high on the Cavs as everyone else is.
Honestly, if they had JB Bickerstaff, I would probably be in the same boat. They still had him as their head coach, but I do think Kenny Atkinson's a great move. And like I said, I think if they can just stay healthy, but that's a big if. That's a big if for them. I guess move on to the West. Or was there any other points of contention? Was I the only one that had the Knicks at number 1, or didn't have the Celtics at number 1?
I think so.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I'm just super high on this Knicks team. I think they're the kind of team that can just adjust their lineup, and I think the Celtics can do that to a point as well, just to what team they're facing. I worry about Mikal Bridges. That shot looks disgusting.
That was bad.
Horrendous.
Yeah.
Apparently, he said he's been working on his shot since he came into the NBA. Like, it didn't look like that, dog.
It looks like Bill Cartwright is shooting the basketball.
Yeah. But at the very least, he can be a defensive guy. So, he was a defensive player of the year candidate. So I bring that up every time I talk about him. But yeah, Ben, you want to start us off with the West?
Yep. All right. So
I'm still adjusting.
the number
my
one,
West.
number 1 seed, I have the Minnesota Timberwolves. At number 2, I got the Dallas Mavericks. I got OKC at number 3, Denver at number 4, Sacramento at number 5, the New Orleans Pelicans at number 6, and my play-in teams are the Spurs, Grizzlies, Lakers, and Suns.
man, that play-in series, if that was real, holy
Yeah.
cow!
Yeah.
I need more than just one game.
I think any play-in like combination is just outstanding.
Oh, in the
this year.
West.
Yeah, in the
Yeah.
West.
Yeah.
Like anything I've seen drawn up is just looks like that's going to be a lot of fun. Why can't that just be a whole series in itself? But I'll go ahead and name off mine. Actually, I'm about to go. So Josh, if you want to list off, or you said
I'm gonna pass on this
That's right.
because I am
That's
not
right.
an expert in the NBA, so I'm just gonna pass on this and let these guys put their stuff out there. But I am big on the T-Wolves. Hint, hint.
yeah. Alex, if you want to go.
Yeah, I'll go. So let's see here. Number 1, I have OKC. Number 2, I have Dallas. 3, I have Memphis. Very high on them.
Like that.
4, I have Minnesota. 5, I have Denver. 6, I have the Lakers finally avoiding the play-in. I think JJ Redick will at least get them to a point to where they can avoid that. Do I think they'll make it very far? Anyways, let's not talk about that. 7, I have Phoenix. 8, I have Houston. 9, I have San Antonio.
Logan, 8 seconds to pick.
Yeah, it's reach time again.
Who you shake?
10, I have
Jeremy
Sacramento.
Thunder 11. Sorry.
And then I just wanted to mention that 11 and 12 would be New Orleans and Golden State, because I really see there's only like 3 teams that in the West that probably are not making the playoffs, and that's Utah, Portland, and because I'm a hater of the Clippers, obviously they could still make the playoffs if James Harden goes crazy, but I don't see it.
You're now
With
on
James
clockouts.
with James Harden alone, I don't see it.
Right.
Yeah, it would take Kawhi actually playing some legitimate games, but I'll go ahead and give off mine here. I have Oklahoma City at number 1, Dallas at number 2, Denver at number 3. I'm very curious to see how the season goes for Denver. I think they're a little thin. They're relying on some young guys to step up and play roles that we saw, like Bruce Brown and Jeff Green and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope play in recent years, and I don't know if they're going to be able to do that. I doubt they'll be able to do that. So I still see them being a good regular season team with the best player in the world, and they still have a chance to win it all with the best player in the world. But yeah, I still see them slipping a little bit. Dallas is also like at 2 is kind of weird. I could see them just like having some rough parts of the year. I see you peeking, Josh. Minnesota at number 4, number 5 Houston, number 6 Phoenix. I'm actually buying into this Budenholzer-led Phoenix team. I think he will get them making threes efficiently, which is the opposite of what they did last year. So I think that will be a huge change, and I think that'll get them in the top 6. I then have Sacramento at number 7, Los Angeles at number 8, Golden State and New Orleans rounding out my play-in. Yes, I have the Grizzlies missing because I'll believe a full season from Jaw when I see it at this point. I'm sorry. I have PTSD from Derrick Rose. So until I hope I'm proven wrong. I absolutely hope I'm proven wrong. And but I kind of had to justify my earlier stuff by saying that the Grizzlies are just injured.
I mean, that's fair. But that means Edey's not in the playoffs, and you don't get to watch more Zach Edey. That's got to depress you.
Actually, Zach Edey is one of my least favorite players to watch, so I'm not complaining. I'll be honest, I'm thrilled that Purdue will not have to sit in the paint for ages upon ages. But
it was just your best year ever. No big deal.
Yeah,
As he
no
goes
big
off
deal.
The board, by the way, crazy
That's
timing on that.
That's great timing.
Ben just took him.
Yeah.
Ben just no, he'll be great. Don't get me wrong, and I'll watch him through and through. But yeah, just maybe it'd be more fun to watch in the NBA. I sure hope so. Yeah, that's my West.
Logan, did you give your rundown?
Yeah, I don't think so
have
because
not.
he was up. So
I have not. I just want you to know, guys, it warms my heart hearing the consensus number 1 in the West.
Somebody didn't have OKC.
Who
right?
was it?
Ben had the T-Wolves.
Ben had T-Wolves.
Yeah, I had the T-Wolves.
Oh, okay.
He had
well,
OKC at 3.
Sorry. The almost consensus.
Hey,
number 1.
Garrett, real quick, check your phone.
Okay.
I have obviously number 1, Oklahoma City.
Live television, folks.
I think Oklahoma City made the necessary moves to plant them as to repeat as the number 1 seed in the West, and then I got 2 Dallas, 3 Minnesota, 4 Denver, 5 Memphis, 6 Phoenix, 7 the New Orleans Pelicans led by their center Zion Williamson, 8 Golden State, 9 Sacramento, and 10 the Los Angeles Alex Perez. I think LA is going to find a way to sneak in, and I think they're going to find a way to win at least one play-in game. They always do.
I was going to ask, Alex, if you were to miss the playoffs this year, how does that turn out in your mind?
I mean, I would not be shocked. There are 12 teams that can make the playoffs, but
Yeah.
But you got LeBron.
It would suck, yeah.
Yeah.
But LeBron's 82 years old, so I feel like he's judged to a different standard, and that's unfair because nobody this old has ever been judged to this standard.
That's also very true. So Peyton Cox, who's in the draft, I believe, as Toon Squad, if I'm remembering correctly.
You're correct.
Said that the Pacers will be falling in at the 4 seed, in his opinion. He's also a Pacer. He's also a Pacers fan, so
love that pick. Love that pick. Love the optimism.
That's that there. I guess my outlook would be, so Alex, you said you hate them a lot, obviously. So you think the Clippers worst team in the NBA type thing? And is that?
I would certainly hope so.
No.
I'm gonna say you guys get their pick, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
No matter what, not protected at all.
Not that I know of. Yeah, I mean, imagine adding Cooper Flag to this young core.
Yeah, okay, we're not gonna do that.
But at least the Clippers still have Paul George to. Oh, never mind. But no, the worst team is going to be Portland, probably.
Portland, yeah.
That's right. Sure. Portland or Washington. Washington's going to be pretty cheap.
Oh, I forgot about them. Yeah,
They're so bad you forget about them, right?
Yep.
Didn't do the rest
Why
of the
will
East
none of
standings.
y'all take Josh Poole off my screen so I don't draft that man?
Josh?
Jordan Poole?
Jordan, Josh, whatever, same difference. Joshes are stupid.
Yeah, back to the
Because I wanted Reed Shepard.
Oh,
I
that's
had to
real.
Go get him. I had
That's
to go
real.
get him.
But back to the Wizards real quick. They have Kuzma and who else do they got?
They got
That's a
Kuzma
good
and
question,
Poole.
Ben, because I don't know.
Malcolm Brogdon.
Alex Sarr. They got Malcolm Brogdon now because why not? And Jonas Valanciunas. That's the squad they're rolling out there in the Wizards.
I'm gonna take a chance on this guy. He's I guess the number 2 in Golden State now. I would argue. I'll take Jonathan Kuminga. We'll see what happens with that guy. Yeah, that's just bold strategy. He was number 3 on my list, and I wasn't drafting Kawhi, and I'm not drafting Jordan Poole. I hate Jordan Poole.
The number 2 in Golden State?
I mean,
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But like, who is number 2?
Buddy
Draymond?
Hield?
Oh, that's right.
yeah, he ain't that good either.
That's true, but he's the number 2.
I'm pretty sure he's gonna be the 6th man.
By the way, I had the
We'll
Warriors
see.
at like 12th, I think, on that draft board. No, not the draft board.
Could they
but-
trade Steph?
I also have Golden State at 12.
I mean, it's a dumb question to ask, but could they trade Steph?
To Los Angeles, absolutely they could. Yeah,
I mean, that's been the rumor, right?
I would love it.
Yeah, I would love it too. I would love before LeBron and Steph Curry retire. I would love to see them on the
That's
same team
basketball
together.
nirvana right there.
Yeah.
I need it.
You want Kevin Durant too? Because I mean, it turned out pretty
We'll
well.
take it. Yeah, that'll be fine.
Yeah.
Cohen's over here like, you guys are living in La La Land.
We are starting to get down to people that Garrett does not know.
We're also getting down to names that I would love for Ben to try to pronounce.
Give me Clay Thompson. That's evil.
You're gonna try to put me on the spot.
So rude.
So, who's number 91?
He's on his phone, so he won't be able to see. So let me pull.
Wait, I think I could get this one.
Well, yeah, because you're a tennis fan.
Okay, that's true.
Yeah.
If that's a hint, Ben, it means it's Eastern European. So, sir, good luck.
One thing I'd also like to ask about Utah Jazz.
Yeah.
What direction is this team going besides getting tons of draft picks?
This way.
Here's
going
no,
on
they're not going this
Utah?
way, but they're also not going this way. They're just like
What's going
It's a crash in the middle.
yeah, it's just
But I
like
mean, 'cause
we're not getting better,
Right, they
but
got-
we're not getting worse.
Because they
I
got
think-
They got Mark. Sorry, go ahead. Logan.
I think Will Hardy's a great coach.
No, I totally agree
He
with
doesn't
that,
have
yeah.
anybody to coach.
Marketing.
Dude's got marketing, Colin Sexton and
Walker Kessler.
Walker Kessler.
Yeah, go ahead
that's
and trade
the
Markin
shit.
into LA too. That'd be good.
Yeah, there you go.
But
Just merge the Jazz
but I mean,
and the
that is-
Lakers. There you go.
I mean, that's my question about that team. Like, what do they have a direction? Because they got a crap ton of draft picks, right?
Dude,
Like,
The
just
draft
hoping-
is their direction. Yeah,
Yeah, they're
that's
hoping at
exactly
some
what it
point
is.
they just get
They're
Jason
basically hoping
Tatum,
for Cooper
Jalen
Flag.
Brown, and
Basically, yeah.
Cooper Flag is a great point.
that seems like a very perfect spot for him. And a little I know about that organization fan base, but I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah,
Dang, Josh Hart's a good pick. I was hoping he
Josh
was
Hart is
still
a
going to be
great
there.
pick. Yep, he's a guy I typically.
Dante DiVincenzo, 6th man of the year.
DiVincenzo.
I feel like Kawhi should not even be on this list, honestly.
For real.
I mean,
I sure as hell ain't picking him.
Until I hear he's coming back, it's just a race to get him, and
Right.
you just got to be the first one to get him before he comes back, basically. I guess since we started round 9, it was an asterisk on this. Do we want to?
I was going to go ahead and save those for the end of the show.
Okay.
And then I always want to just ask a question. I want you all to think of your favorite team, and I want you to pitch why they're why they're going to win the championship. I don't know why that made me laugh. I was just
I feel like I
thinking
got the easiest
about-
one.
yeah, I think you got the easiest one.
You
here.
want to go ahead and go, Logan?
I was laughing because I was
I
thinking of
will.
our favorite teams,
Yeah, I know. Everyone in here's
especially Garrett.
some-
Garrett, you're
No,
included in this, Mr. Grizzlies fan.
I'll go ahead. I'll go ahead and toss out my pitch for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Like I said, I think that they made the necessary moves. A lot of people were clamoring for them to make trades last season, but I think OKC took the right approach in taking that roster to the playoffs and then seeing what they needed.
Yep.
And they got it. Now, while he might not be back until December, I think Isaiah Hartenstein is the perfect addition into that roster. Adds the physicality and rebounding that I think they need and will absolutely use. Getting Alex Caruso as well. I think the Thunder, this might be one of the best on-ball defensive teams I've seen on paper in a long time. And I think that with the volume scoring you can get from your big three and then the defense you can get from the next three, that's an absolutely phenomenal roster. And I think I think they can beat Boston in the 7-game series.
Yeah, I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. I think I'll piggyback off that a little bit. I'll add it to the conversation we had about the Knicks. I think they can be down a guy.
That's not your favorite team.
Huh?
You said you're discussing your favorite teams. When?
Yeah, I was just adding to the conversation
Okay,
we was
just make
having
sure.
about
Okay,
the
I'm
Thunder.
gonna go back to my little world.
As I said, go back to your world. I just think those are teams that you could be down a guy and another guy just next man up, and they won't skip a beat until you just have half your team out like the Knicks did in the playoffs. But yeah, I think Thunder are definitely the biggest threat to the Celtics, and I think honestly the Celtics may have to start worrying about them. I think Isaiah Hartenstein was just exactly what they have. Isaiah Hartenstein in the playoffs last year. I think they probably make a run to the finals.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was the big difference, was just not having that size down low, and seeing how Hartenstein played in the playoffs. I mean, how could you not want that guy? And Caruso, playoff Caruso, please let me see
It's
playoff
good.
Caruso.
It's good.
Yep.
I want to see playoff Caruso back so bad. Glad to see him on a good team. I'm excited to see that. Thunder will be a fun team to watch. You already knew that, but I guess I'll pitch mine. We have a great offense. We don't do defense very well, but there was one thing. After we got Pascal Siakam last season, the defense was night and day from anything I had seen in 2 years. He kind of taught these guys how to play nitty-gritty defense, which I don't know why Miles Turner didn't really teach him that. But, I mean, especially in the playoffs, I'm on the board, it appears. But, dang, I don't want any of these guys. I gotta search deep.
Yeah, it's gotten ugly.
It's gotten very ugly. I can't scroll because I'll be down in like the 300s. So, give me this guy. Give me Yami Hawkes. But yeah, I think the defense will improve. Rick Carlisle is a great coach. He had some great defensive teams in Dallas, and if he can scheme better, if Jarris Walker can be a rotational piece that can maybe guard the other team's best guy, then I think we could absolutely be scary, because Tyrese Halliburton sure as hell ain't guarding the other team's best guy. He don't do defense. He can steal. He can get some steals, but that's really about it. But if he can be the leader we need on offense, if he can be the late time shot guy, I think with our offense, we are in every game we play. Even in that Celtics series that we got swept, 3 out of the 4 games, we were within striking distance there at the end of the game with about a minute or so to go. So the Celtics even said, of course, they're just going to say that the Pacers were their toughest challenge of the playoffs, at least in the Eastern Conference side. So, yeah, I think if we get hot, it's kind of like that Alabama team in the tournament. If we get hot, who's going to stop us? But, yeah, there's my pitch.
Kawhi Leonard's off the board.
He did
By
finally
auto
go.
draft?
Yeah, auto draft finally took him.
Nobody with their own will takes
so-
Kawhi Leonard.
I'll go ahead and go next. My favorite team is the Miami Heat, and the only way I can even see them coming close. You didn't know my favorite team was the Heat? The way Alex looked over it.
No.
No, we're just laughing at the idea of the Heat repeating.
That's fair. I mean, that's fair. I mean, they have a lot ahead of them. However, as long as they got Eric Spoelstra and they got the Godfather who's willing to make a move or two, I think they still have a chance. Spo is arguably the best coach in the NBA.
Yep.
And I believe Rozier is healthy. That's a big question mark, asterisk. Butler is still on the team. You got Hero. You got Bam, who is maybe one of the most underrated players, I think, in the NBA. I know he's always on Team USA because the USA doesn't have a lot of bigs, but he's widely disrespected. So, yeah, no, I absolutely still think the Heat could make a run for, the playing game. But, no, the championship's nowhere near. But the T-Wolves, though.
Would you have seen the Heat win it, or at least making it to the finals though that year they did?
No, and that's the thing about this team. I mean, once it hits playoff time, it's Jimmy is a completely different player as long as he's healthy.
Yes.
And Eric Spoelstra can go X's and O's with anybody. They don't back down. They don't care who they're playing. But I just think size and everything else, it's time to blow it up and try to rebuild and get yourself a new star. What that star would be, we've all heard the rumor of Donovan Mitchell, but I don't see that happening, unfortunately. I think he's just re-signed, if I remember correctly, in Cleveland, so he's probably not going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah.
Trae Young doesn't move the needle for me in Miami. So you would have to make me sit down and really think about who would be the next. But after this season, I mean, if Giannis wants to force himself out of Milwaukee, would you see anybody else going crazy for him other than the Godfather when it comes to making a move like, okay, we're going to go get this guy?
Yeah.
He'll free up this cap space. We've seen him do it before for the big three. Ben, who's your favorite team?
Pick got me.
To be honest, I really don't have a favorite team. So
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
And
I mean-
Garrett, why will the Memphis Grizzlies win it all outside of Ja? Give me another reason.
It's gonna include Ja. Ja Morant gets to pass to the twin towers of Zach Edey and Jaren Jackson Jr.
The
Enough
fact he was
said.
able to name 3 players on the
That's
Grizz.
impressive.
How tall is Jaren Jackson Jr.?
6'10".
Oh, okay. Hey,
I did a little bit of research.
Hey, look at you.
I'm proud of you.
Look at you. All right, come home, Jaden Ivey. All right, well, that's everybody gave off their favorite teams.
I did not actually.
You know, I'm going to say, Alex never talked about the
My
Lakers.
apologies, Alex.
The answer is LeBron James.
That's it. Short and sweet.
Always has been LeBron James.
No, but seriously, this team will actually have some better offense now that we have a coach that can actually call some plays instead of having his hands in his pockets. The defense may not get any better. We'll see about that. But as long as you got LeBron James and Anthony Davis, you always have a shot.
I'd like to talk about now that I'm thinking about it, I think I'm going to talk about the Celtics. If that's
Right
right.
ahead.
All right. So, I mean, obviously with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown on the court, though, they're obviously going to be a threat this year. I think they're going to pick up where they left off, and they got a lot of guys returning. So, overall, I'm just excited to see what that offense can really do this year.
I'm not. I hope they lose every single game.
Really?
First off, I don't like repeats. Second of all, I don't like Boston fans.
Fair.
If you know anything about my history, you'd understand why. So, yeah, no. But, I mean, they are clearly, like, it's Boston, New York, and then what team is the biggest threat in the East of those two? I guess that's the next fair question, honestly. Do you think, even though you got Cleveland as a 3 seed, do you see them as the biggest threat?
Oh,
or-
absolutely not.
Okay, so-
honestly, the Pacers are probably the only other team I could see knocking them off. If the Sixers are all healthy, they could. If the Bucks don't have Doc Rivers as their head coach, they could. But I'll say it, and tell me if I'm wrong here. If the Pacers are just scorching hot from 3, I think they absolutely have a chance. But I don't see anybody else being able to compete. I don't see Joel Embiid staying healthy long enough against the Celtics for them to win that series. Hopefully, he proves me wrong.
I was just thinking that the Pacers getting hot against the very good defensive Celtics is really high hopes. But
yeah, I can pray.
I would say it is Philadelphia, if anybody. Maxey, Paul George, and Embiid, if they're all healthy, is a heck of a dynamic trio. So if there's anybody that's going to do it, I don't think anybody's going to do it. But
Yeah.
if there is somebody, it's Philadelphia, I think.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I mean, when you look at Maxey, George, and Embiid, they're arguably the best trio on the court, though. And I feel like, just like you said, I feel like if they all stay healthy, though, I feel like they can definitely be a threat to those teams for sure.
And they got rid of Tobias Harris, so congratulations, Philadelphia.
That just added like 10 points per game.
Yeah.
Just by him not taking shots.
Glad I wasn't paying attention. My auto pick that took DeAndre Ayton. That makes me so happy.
See, it's funny because I thought you were made that like gesture because Grayson Allen went off the board.
No, I made it because I wasn't paying attention. DeAndre Ayton just went for me. So,
Garrett,
that's
low
great.
key, that's a pretty good pick. I picked him up on the waiver wires last year, and he was giving me about 30 points a game. So
I'll take it.
He's not a bad pick. Well, that's all our favorite teams, and who do you think? There's always a team. Last year was kind of the Thunder, kind of the Magic. There's always a team, and for me, it's the Rockets this year, that are kind of ahead of schedule. Who do you think that team's going to be this year? Like, they're maybe projected as a play-in team, maybe projected as not even a play-in team, but you could see them taking that leap and being a top 5-4 seed.
The Spurs.
Okay.
Chris Paul is going to be able to distribute the ball, get Wemby touches, unlike Jeremy Sohan was not able to, unfortunately. Great idea to have him as point guard. Stephon Castle's going to be great for them.
Yep.
and they're just going to have a lot more offense. And there's not a whole lot of defense, as we know, played in the regular season. So
Right.
I think that'll get them at least to a play-in spot, I'm hoping.
And then from that point on, who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, as I mentioned earlier, I think the Pelicans. I think Pelicans could go up all the way to like a 3 seed in
Oh,
the
I agree.
West. But that's a cheap way. So I'll mention the other team I mentioned. I don't know why. I've looked into it more. If Lonzo's healthy, why can the Bulls not be a 5-ish
Yeah.
seed?
That should have been mine.
You got Lonzo, you got Levine, you got Vucevic, you got Giddey, you got Kobe.
All right. Let's stop with the Vucevic. That dude has been dog water for the past 3 years.
Who knows? Maybe he just needs a little.
They have
like,
they have Jalen Smith.
That's what, I mean,
He
yeah,
just
he's
needed
okay.
he just needed Lonzo back to make him look good.
Perhaps.
Yeah, I think that's the one player I'm most looking forward to seeing back.
For sure.
Yes.
I have not got to watch any preseason. Has he played at all?
He did
Yeah.
play. He had like 18 or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
That I mean, there's not one like when he came in the league. Obviously, I didn't like him. I was like everybody else. I hated his dad, so as a result,
Because
I
he
didn't
was
like
a
him.
Laker, anyways.
But what he's grown into, and just what he's gone through over 1,000 days since he played and suited up in the NBA. There's not one person I think I'm pulling for more than Lonzo Ball, and I can't believe I'm saying that in 2024.
Well, when the Bulls had
Yeah.
the resurgence, it was because of Lonzo. I mean, they had a good team around him,
Yeah.
but Lonzo was kind of leading that team. So
He was
like
getting
you said-
DPOY talks, right?
for sure, yeah. Like you said, there's no reason that they can't be right back where they were the last time that he played. It's just he hasn't played in so long, so it looks like the Bulls were tanking, but maybe they weren't.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I'm just excited to see Lonzo Ball back on the court. I mean, like we talked about, he hasn't played for such a long time, and I wasn't able to catch the Bulls preseason game, unfortunately, though. But just hearing that he had a great game, though, especially from behind the arc, he was knocking down those shots, looking really comfortable out there. So I look for him to have a comeback year for sure.
That's the thing I was most concerned about was his shot coming back after not playing for basically 2 years. But it still looks good. I know he retooled it right before he got injured, so thankfully it still looks the same, and I have high hopes for Chicago.
Logan, you got another team or one of the things that we threw out there?
I mean, the only thing that I could think of was me and Colton kind of talked about it earlier was the Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah.
I think they got an exciting young core. I'm not gonna say great, because we really haven't seen like all of them healthy at the same time yet, but they're exciting. You got guys like Brandon Miller, LaMelo Ball, like Miles Bridges. I think that team, like if they're playing their best ball and they're healthy, they could make some noise. I mean, I feel like it's the any given night scenario. Like they could hang a good amount of points on you. I think I'm gonna be tuning into more Hornets games this year. Believe it or not, something I would never say in the past. But as long as LaMelo Ball's healthy, I think I'll be watching.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that's going to be a fun team. Their draft pick, I can't remember his name. I remember he's like just a super project guy. So it's not like they necessarily got somebody that I think is going to give instant impact. But I think Brandon Miller's going to have a hell of a sophomore year. And him and LaMelo Ball on the court. Miles Bridges, say what you want about him, but he's going to probably be a good player. Mark Williams at the center. I like this team. I don't think they're the level of necessarily jump into like a Magic spot or not, but the play-in team, you get in the play-in, who knows if you get the right matchup, you could end up at an 8 seed or something, which would be like when's the last time the Hornets actually made the playoffs? Like it was that Kemba year against the Heat, right? Like, it'll be a fun team to watch, and I actually have a three-month trial for League Pass for the first time in my life, so they'll be one of the teams I'm watching.
2016 was the last time the Hornets.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. That's wild. That's one of the probably the longest in the NBA, right? Or am I missing somebody? Because the Wizards made it like 2017, 2018.
I think that's the longest, yeah.
I think that's got to be the longest. But after the Kings got
Hornets, 8th season. Yep. Hornets, Pistons, Spurs,
the Pistons are getting up there.
Rockets, and Trailblazers. Longest drought.
I think the
can't
Rockets
guarantee
break
this is
that
the most
this year.
outdated, but this is what it says. And like, you all think the Spurs and the Rockets both have a chance, so that would leave. And if the Hornets get in, I mean, the Pistons and Blazers would be the two that are down there.
Yeah, but it's interesting that it's not like the long droughts we see in the NFL or the MLB. 8 seasons, Bengals had to wait a long time. Or, sorry, that's for a playoff win, my fault. Yeah.
I mean,
But,
playoff
like,
appearances, dude.
who's the one that's
entire 90s? I was alive for it. I know you weren't, but
who's the one that's been a long time in the NFL? I just saw it the other day. Is it the
Jets.
Panthers? Oh, Jets.
the Jets
Yeah,
had the
Jets.
longest.
Been since like 2012 or
Yeah,
something.
it was since they went to the AFC Championship game
I do remember
and
that year.
lost to the Patriots.
Yeah, imagine that. Oh, I'm up again. Hello.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Thank
I actually
you.
want to say one more thing about the Spurs before we move on.
Go right ahead.
All right, so they're a playing team that I have my eyes on, obviously. I mean, this summer I've been a huge Spurs fan for some odd reason. I mean, I'm just excited to see what Chris Paul and Stephon Castle can do for Victor Wembanyama. And overall, though, I feel like they're a little bit of a sleeper. So I can definitely see them making some noise for sure.
Yeah, that'll be equally as fun league pass team to watch as the Hornets, I think.
Yeah.
And yeah, they could definitely. I think you'll just see teams like those have those stretches throughout the year. The Rockets had it last year, where they just they win 10, go like 10 in the last 10 games. They go like 8-2 or something. Like, oh yeah, this team's looking great.
Yeah.
And maybe they dip back into being a young team and whatnot, and don't necessarily finish it through. But as long as we see those flashes from those teams, those are the best times. Those are some of my favorite parts of the NBA years, when you see a young team gelling and looking like a fun team to watch. That's what I thought the play-in run was for my Pacers team. And the next thing I know, okay, I say we're actually good. All right. But yeah, is there any other stuff on your mind as we wrap up the draft here in the round of 12? I'm excited to go through and read these teams, especially Garrett's, because I have not paid any attention to what he's done, because I just think it'll be a
After the
beautiful
first
surprise.
5 picks, I didn't pay attention to what I was doing. So
No, I mean, I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Like you said, we're getting close to wrap-up time, so that's
we did. If we have nothing left to talk about in basketball, we did get a question from Peyton on the YouTube comments. He
Yeah,
was
thanks for keeping an eye on that.
He was asking for our thoughts on the Reds hiring Tito, and if we see any big signings potentially in the offseason now that he's manager.
Well, I'm gonna say we'll just ask Mr. Red himself back there. Logan, what's your thoughts?
I think everyone's saying it must have taken a lot to get him up off the old rocking chair and get back into managing. And I think there might have been some promises made to him that some signings are going to be made. I think you can't just get a guy like Tito to leave retirement to manage your team if you don't promise him something. I think the Reds are going to go after an outfield bat. I think the name that everyone's throwing around and that I would love to see in Great American Ballpark, Anthony Santander. I think he would do phenomenal in a Reds uniform. And I think just having Tito there, that automatically adds like 5 to 6 wins. His mindset with this team, David Bell was more of a player's manager, not a actual manager. But I think Tito is going to be the perfect guy for Cincinnati Reds baseball, and he's going to bring back. He's already talked about it. He knows how good of a baseball town Cincinnati is. I think he's going to bring that feeling back.
I was going to say, if you saw any of his conversation with Sean Casey, I have not been so excited for anything to happen with the Reds since the Ken Griffey Jr. trade. Maybe Puig was up there on the list, but when the Reds got Jr., that was something special. And then hiring Francona, it's like it's brought life back to the fan base, but I'm still a little hesitant. But I agree. They had to promise him something. They had to say, hey, I'm going to spend some money. We're going to go out and get a player or two. I've heard Sonny Gray is in discussion to bring back to get a veteran in the rotation. But Francona, again, like you said, that wins 6-7 games that they lost in the 1 runs, which probably gets you in the playoffs. And with the rotation that you have, there is zero doubt in my mind that that rotation can win a playoff series, if not more. Go ahead, Mr. Baseball. Gatekeeper.
What?
Yeah, talking to you. Your thoughts, Francona?
Why do I get accused of gatekeeping?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I only said it for college
You're an easy
football.
target today for some reason. What's the deal here?
It's Ranchers.
I understand. It's
They
us.
just wanna-
It's
they
us being over in this room.
They
Yeah,
just
I
want to
got
hit
it.
us while we're down, dude.
I know.
No, I think obviously we're all really excited here in Cincinnati to see a manager with a pedigree like Tito be named as the skipper of this crew. I genuinely don't know. I'm just like I'm sitting back and just letting Tito take the wheel, and I'm just seeing what happens. I agree. I agree with what Logan said. I think the Reds are probably going to go out and get an outfield bat because, like Josh has said over our past few episodes, that's what the Reds have been lacking, a consistent outfield bat. So Santander has obviously been a major talking point here. Yeah, I'm genuinely just excited to see what Tito does with this team, and I'm assuming that everybody is as excited as they say they are online. I'm looking forward to seeing a much more often sold out Red Stadium.
Yeah, hey, I might go to some games.
Yeah, I mean, overall, though, I'm just excited to see what Tito can do for the Reds. I mean, to go from David Bell to this guy, I mean, just looking at his background, I think he's going to bring a lot of leadership to the squad, and there's no doubt in my mind the Reds are making a postseason run.
Call me crazy, Alex, but have you ever seen, like, in basketball, the story of old manager? How long has he been out of the game?
Just a year.
Not long.
Just a year.
Just a year? Oh, okay. Well, then that's not the case. The way that, like, you guys were talking about him, I thought he'd been out for a couple years.
No.
So it's not like you're
he's
pulling
been-
him out of retirement or anything. You're just getting him out from a year break.
Yeah, no, he took a year off to get his health. He's had some health issues, and I mean, we'll see what happens. I think the time away when Logan mentioned the whole had to pull him out of the rocking chair. The rumors were back in April he was already trying to get a staff together. He was getting the itch. He missed it. It's what he does, and just him talking about Reds baseball gets me fired up. And then obviously the quote about winning baseball is playing the game the right way and just beating someone's ass. Not exact words he said, but still, I mean, it's him.
Yeah, I mean, just reading that quote itself, that just got me more excited. It just shows how passionate he is to try to turn this franchise around.
Yeah. I mean, I can't wait. I'd love to see a good Reds team. Maybe a Reds team that could, win a championship.
I just like anything other than the World Series that we got this year.
Yeah, for real.
Oh, man. So,
But anyways, this is actually a live basketball. You guys have had all summer to talk about baseball, but it's okay. We were ending up on
Giving the people what they want, Colton.
They did ask.
They sure did. We're now in
Thanks,
the
man.
final round of the draft as right off the board goes Norman Powell. God, that's the part of the draft we're at, Norman Powell. Andy. Andy took Benedict Mathurin. That was my pick. I'm so deep into the rankings, I don't even know if he was like high or not. But
I'm gonna say I don't know where any of these people are or half these names. There's a few names that I know, but I mean it's ugly.
yeah,
down
it's
here.
ugly. Here's what the top 5 looks like for me right now. We have Trey Murphy III, Marcus Smart, Onyeka Okongwu, Zakari. He's not been in the NBA long enough for me to know his name.
It's gotta be Rashard, right?
You don't
It's
have
gotta
to-
be.
yeah, Trey Murphy's gone.
Trey
Not Trey
Murphy
Murphy anymore.
is out of here. Wendell Carter Jr. Max Struess appeared somewhere. I didn't see him earlier. And Andre Drummond. Andre Drummond. When you see Andre Drummond on your draft board,
I know Andre Drummond. I know that name.
And Max Struess
Yes.
is going to be out a while too, so
all yours, Garrett.
Matas Buzlis down there in Chicago.
that's definitely how it's pronounced.
That is one way to say it.
You know what? Hey, I tried at least. Anyway, he's the rookie they just drafted. Yes, right?
Yeah, hometown kid.
Yep.
That's what I thought. Okay.
I'm excited to see him play. I mean, he's an athlete. If he can get his shooting figured out, I think he's a good piece for
So
the Bulls.
I mean, so that's on my craziness. Me saying they could make the playoffs and be a 5-6 seed team isn't crazy because it's the East.
A lot of things would have to go right, and I don't think the East is as weak as you guys make it out to be. It's just way weaker than the West. Like,
It's definitely top heavy. Like the first
Yeah.
6 seeds, you're like they're definitely going to make it, and then the rest is just kind of
yeah.
a mix.
I mean, I could see it, but it would literally just have to be the like perfect scenario for Chicago.
By the way, I just took Zakari because it was the most popular, biggest name I know. So that was how I decided that one.
I was thinking.
No.
Bronny
Get outta here.
James.
I had to.
All right.
I had to. He was
Ronnie
available.
James
Alex's
Let's
pick.
go.
He was available. I had to go get him.
Alex, what happens to Bronny? It wouldn't be an NBA draft talk without Bronny being brought up. So what happens to Bronny?
Let's see. G League starts in November,
Separate
so
the art
he's
from
got a
the
couple
artist,
weeks
folks.
before
Take Kevin
he is
Porter Jr.
in developmental works.
Does he play game 1 with LeBron, though?
For sure, yeah.
Has
Yeah.
to.
Yeah,
And
he definitely
as soon
has
as they
to.
get the alley oop done, he's coming out.
Timberwolves
Of
are
the
up, but
Straight to the G League.
And
they sent him straight to South Beach.
oh, man.
We're coming down to the last two. We almost have Mr. Irrelevant, which will be selected by Ben's best team.
I'm gonna bet Bronny to win Rookie of the Year just because you know what, all the hate, he's gonna surprise everyone. He's gonna be the third best player.
You sure
on
would
the
make
league.
a lot of money, wouldn't you?
I'll just
There is. It's the most actually bet Rookie of the Year.
Are you
I
serious?
swear in my life.
Of course it is.
I mean, if you want to waste your money, I'll take it.
If you don't mind me
House is the
asking,
house.
if you don't mind me asking, what are the odds there?
I can look it up.
Al
for you real
Horford's off the
fast.
board.
As we're talking
Thunder
about
Legend, by the way.
Plus
Thunder
4,000 or like what is the?
I'm looking it up.
It's
as
got to
we
be
speak.
like 50,000 or something. I saw like the Wizards to make the playoffs was like 50,000. I'm like, well, you know, if Jordan Poole actually becomes, and the last guy at the board is T.J. McConnell. Let's go. Yes, sir. I love to see that. All right, I am so excited to go through these teams.
First guy in, last guy out. You know what I'm saying?
he's that type of guy. He's just different, you know. He just plays the game the right way.
Got a couple of those guys on the staff. Reed Shepard.
Reed Shepard. All right. Well, are you trying to pull something up over
Yeah,
there?
no, you're good. Go ahead.
Good.
Talk
All
about
right.
your.
I'll go ahead. Let's go ahead and go to the teams. I'll just go in the list of the draft order. So that starts with Dunk Dynasty. At this point guard position, he has Steph Curry. At shooting guard, Tyrese Maxey. Small forward, is that Mikel or Mike? Yeah, it's Mikel Bridges. Jimmy Hemi Butler at the power forward, and then Nikola Jokic at center. That's a pretty good starting
Pretty good
lineup.
team.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. CJ McCollum on the bench at the guard spot, the forward spot, Bobby Portis. Yeah, the bench kind of, I don't know about this bench. Valanciunas, Nurkic. Nurkic was a sneaky one I thought about picking up because I think Budenholzer might make him shoot some more threes, so if they go in, that could be good. But anyways, DiVincenzo, Cam Johnson, Ayo DeSumo is a very underrated one I thought about picking up, and then Storm and Norman Powell to round out his bench. That's a great starting lineup. I mean, Steph, Maxey, Bridges, Butler, and Jokic. Butler will play like 40 games, but that's okay. Curry, he's getting up there, so who knows? But other than that, we know he'll have average like 30 points a game, so that's quite all right. That'll be a tough team for sure. Toon Squad at the second pick got Luka Doncic, yep, Derek White, Miles Bridges, Pascal Siakam, Joel Embiid. That's another great starting lineup. Then you got Jamal Murray off the bench, Buddy Hield, Josh Hart, Jabari Smith Jr., OG Anunoby, Brooke Lopez, Zubac, and Donovan Clingan to round out his team. I love the getting a rookie to as kind of at that last pick to kind of maybe he'll project better. And once again, I like this starting lineup. Going down to Andy's astounding team. That is LaMelo Ball at the point, Cam Thomas at the shooting guard, Paul George. Actually, Cam Thomas, he's not considered a superstar, but he's probably somebody that will get moved. Paul George at the small forward. That's a risky pick. Paolo Banchero at the power forward, and Victor Wemby at the center position. Still haven't learned that name.
No.
You good?
Said it right.
Victor Wembanyama.
Just trying to bring out my best Kevin Harlan impression. That's all.
Wembanyama.
We got Jared Allen at the utility. I also forgot to mention Tyler Hero and is that Bogdan? Yeah, it's got to be Bogdan. Yep. Bogdanovich. That's how you pronounce it, Ben. Jordan Poole.
Okay.
Denny Avdia. And I believe that's Keldon Johnson. Yep, Keldon Johnson, Jordan Clarkson, and Benedict Mathurin. Screw you, Andy. I wanted him. Another great team. The Paul George pick at the starting lineup. He won't be there very long because he's probably out for a couple weeks, if not longer. And now let's get to the moment I have been waiting for. On jaw question mark. At the
It's a team.
at the point guard position, we have Ja Morant.
Now it's all downhill from here, Pete.
Yeah, it's all over.
At the shooting guard position, D'Angelo Russell.
Nice.
At the small forward position, his second pick of the draft, DeMar DeRozan. At the power forward position, we have Kristaps Tingus Porzingis.
Thank you for saying his full name.
You got all the syllables in there.
Great pick at the center, though. Bam Adebayo. That's somebody I want to
love
try
that.
and
I
yoink
love
from
that.
you.
I love
Yeah, no, I took him in the third round because when I was looking at centers, there were not a lot of highly ranked centers, so I wanted to make sure I had a center.
Smart. And is that which Holiday is this? Drew, I assume. Drew Holiday at the guard position. Michael Porter Jr. at the forward position. Klay Thompson at the utility. Then Trace Jackson Davis. Hey, I find his ranking on here to be really weird, but I wouldn't be shocked if he was a fantasy darling last year at some point, so he probably will get some minutes. So not a bad pick, I suppose. Grayson Allen, Mike Conley, Kelly Olynyk, and Trey Murphy, the third off the board. I thought Logan got him for some reason, but I misread. Yeah, Garrett, you're the first one in the studio to have his team listed off. What do you have to say about it?
I mean, I think it's a pretty good team. I don't watch basketball, so we're gonna see. But, I got Ja at the helm. We're good.
The equivalent of me doing a baseball team, essentially.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I'm making that happen next year.
Oh, God. It'll be quite the show to watch, huh?
Yep.
All right, so the last place incoming, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander at the point.
He will be
Jalen.
receiving trade offers all season. He's got like, I'm not even joking. I think Jameson has like 6 players on here that I'm trying to trade for.
Yeah,
so.
it's probably all Kentucky guys, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
I mean, I see SGA, Kevin Durant, Chet Holmgren, Julius Randle, all guys that I would like to have on my roster. So he will be receiving some trade offers.
Thought about going for
Yeah,
Julius.
Jalen Green, Kyle Kuzma. You mentioned Kevin Durant, Chet Holmgren. Moving on down, Darius Garland, Julius Randle, Amin Thompson, Jacob Pearl, Karis LeVert, Clint Capella, Herb Jones, Marcus Smart. That's a pretty nice team.
I'm going to say that didn't
That's-
seem like a bad team in the last place team to me at all.
That's not a
real
last
good.
place team, folks.
Especially if Randall is healthy.
If Randall is healthy, that is good. God, that is actually a sneaky team. I don't see a miss here. I don't see a miss at all. Other than maybe Marcus Smart
I
at the
think-
last pick, though. That's
I think he hustled us when he said he's never done this before, and he was just taking Kentucky players.
yeah, I think he definitely hustled us. But let's move on to the guys also never done this before.
I mean, I've done it. I've done it.
Oh,
I
so
just
did
haven't
I.
done it this way with points. I've done it with you just add up all your rebounds, add all your. So the points added a whole new ordeal to it because there are 2 different strategies of drafting.
Fantasy Shark. That's what it is.
okay.
Used to be, not so much now.
At the point guard, we have Cade Cunningham. The shooting guard, Zach LaVine. Small forward, Scotty Barnes. Can't wait till you get his jersey. Power forward, Giannis Antetokounmpo. See, I can say his name because he's been in the NBA for God knows how long now. Triple J's at the center. Bradley Beal at the guard. That's an interest. You said you were buying into what he said.
I mean, if he's going to put that out there, that tells me that man plans on trying 70, 75 games. And if he is, I mean, he gets buckets. So, I mean, we'll see what happens.
You have Franz Wagner, and then quite the collection of high ceiling but also low floor fellows here. Jonathan Kuminga, Scoot Henderson, DeAndre Ayton.
Who's already been dropped, and by that I mean I'm dropping him right now.
What did you know? Oh, DeAndre Ayton. Yeah, because you got auto pick. Walker Kessler, Jeremy Soch. You want to make a trade? No, I'm just kidding. I don't want DeAndre Ayton. Jeremy Sochan.
He's already been dropped.
And Zakari.
It's got to be Rashard.
No, there's like a twist to it. There's a European twist to it. I forget what it is. I think it's Resager, something like that. But yeah, I think that's a great starting lineup. Your bench is, like I said, low ceiling or high ceiling.
Yeah, like I said, a lot of these times I was looking, I was just like, I'm just gonna go for guys that I kind of know play basketball. That's always a plus. And then if Portland's gonna do anything, Scoot's got to take a step forward. So I thought that was worth taking that. Golden State's kind of made it well known that they want Kuminga to make a step this year, so maybe the ball will be in his hands more. I was a fan of Walker Kessler. He was North Carolina. The man gets boards for days, so it worked out okay. I mean, I don't love the team. I don't hate it, but I mean, when you got Giannis, I feel like you always got a chance. Scotty Barnes is a scoreboard, not stat stuffer. There's a word that I'm thinking of.
Stat sheet stuffer.
That's what I was looking for. Thank you. But yeah, and then I like Kate Cunningham to take a big step this year.
Yeah,
and I would really love for him to get out of Detroit somehow, but that's
Yeah.
not going to happen.
No, he just signed a big old extension. He's there
Yeah.
another year or so. But yeah, I think from this point, I'll let people name off their team. I don't know why I didn't do that before, but Logan, you want to tell us about your team?
Yeah, new team name, by the way. Just put it in there. Based on the players I have, team name Read a Book. Reed Shepard and Devin Booker playing on the same team, so had to throw their names both in there.
Those are two former 6 men on the why did I say it like that on the UK Wildcats.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's no secret my team does have a theme. Everybody on this team outside of Bronny James.
Great pick, though.
Yeah, I know, great pick. Had to make it. Has either played for Kentucky or the Oklahoma City Thunder. I kind of had that in mind. Once I made like my first 6 pick, I was like, oh my gosh, I can actually do this. So yeah, just some highlights here. Devin Booker at the point. I see his numbers. Like him moving the ball around more, and if he has Bradley Beal to pass to as well, those assist numbers are going to go up. Obviously, you know what you're getting with him scoring wise. Same thing with James Harden. I think with Kawhi Leonard being out, he's going to get a chance to be a little bit more ball dominant, especially early on in the season. So I think I can get a good chunk of points from him as well. Josh Giddey, I think his numbers are being like criminally underrated right now. I think he's going to get a lot of good chances to
What
get
you
some
smiling
fantasy
about, Garrett?
points.
Josh Giddey and criminally in the same
All right, declining to make any further comments. I have Jalen Williams on the roster. Like I said, I think he's going to take a huge leap this year, especially in terms of scoring. I think his scoring number is going to be going up. Domantas Sabonis, another stat stuffer, triple-double machine, who I think could make a run for all NBA first team action if his numbers look good. Then Emmanuel quickly, I think he's going to have an increased role in Toronto this year. Jeremy Grant, somebody's got to score the ball in Portland, so might as well be him. Reed Shepard, super high floor. We'll see what the ceiling looks like, but I think 3-point sniper, wouldn't hate to have it. I had to go with Mr. Reliable, Russell Westbrook. Alex, I don't want to hear anything from you. I have nothing but happy memories associated with this man.
He's consistent, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I think I'm intrigued to see what his role is going to be in Denver. And then Dennis Schroeder, another guy who could have an interesting role in Brooklyn with wherever their team's going to be. And then made a future projection here with Isaiah Hartenstein, and then Alex Caruso. Just had to get the new guys on the team. I want to make them feel welcome.
All right. I love how you tied it in. They are all Thunder and UK outside of Bronny. For now.
Don't worry, Bronny's already.
Future.
I've already made a waiver claim. So.
Oh, okay. You just wanted to say you did it.
Just to have him,
Yeah.
just having Bronny on the roster is enough for me.
By the way,
We just
confirm,
passed
He's a locker room guy.
confirm the odds are no kidding, no joke. 50,000 to 1.
I called it. I saw
Or
that for
plus
the
50,
Thunder.
plus 50,000, I should say. Sorry.
That's
50,000 to 1.
Hey, you never know, right?
They're gonna get a buck from me.
Maybe
It's
maybe
worth
all,
putting $1 on for
maybe
sure.
all he needs is like one game over 10 points, and that's just all that's needed. So, all right. So continuing on, we have the Murray up offense, which is not in the studio, so I'll go ahead and name it off. Tyrese Halliburton, screw you. DeJounte Murray. Was it Devin Vassell? Yeah, Devin Vassell. Zion Williamson and Mark Williams at the center. De'Aaron Fox coming off the bench. Is that Jalen Johnson? Yes, it is. I'm about to say Joe Johnson. Wish it was Joe Johnson. ISO Joe. Fred Van Vliet, Terry Rozier, Malcolm Brogdon, Brogdon, John Collins, and Brandon Podziemski. Okay, I said that word. Yeah, that's a pretty good team. I don't know about Williams at the center, but pretty deep. De'Aaron Fox on your bench is a hell of a bench player. Murray's really good for his steals. He's because that's like 4 points I think for steals. Jalen Johnson could. I mean, he's going to have the time. He's going to have. Is he kind of the second option on that team right now? Unless Dyson Daniels builds into something. Yeah. Maybe Zakari. But yeah, Jalen Johnson is probably going to be. That's going to be an interesting watch. Yeah, I know the podium. Yep, I already forgot how to say his name.
Pods. Just go Pods.
Pods. Yep, the AirPods. I know he was a darling in fantasy last year. I picked him up for a time when I think Curry was hurt or Clay was hurt, one of the two. And Okongwu was kind of criminally underrated there at the last pick. I think he could definitely. I know Clint Capella gets a lot of the minutes there, but Okongwu had some good times. If Capella gets hurt, that could definitely be a big pickup. But now it's time for my team, the top-notch team. I haven't thought. It's probably going to be something Spider-related because Donovan Mitchell. Oh, I have Spider and Ant. Just wait. We'll see. But, yeah, Donovan Mitchell at the point guard position, Anthony Edwards at the shooting guard position, Brandon Miller at the small forward position, Lauri Markkanen and Alperen Şengün rounding out the starting lineup, Colin Sexton coming off the bench, Evan Mobley at the forward, Jalen Duren, Jaime Jaquez, Jaden Ivey, Jalen Suggs, Malik Monk, and Kevin Porter Jr. I'm very satisfied with this team. I think Kevin Porter Jr. is he's going to be a guy that's going to put up a lot of empty stats, especially after James Harden asked for a trade. So I thought he could be like literally a mid-round guy production-wise if he gets the opportunity. He's done it in the past, but you just don't know what his role is going to look like, I suppose. But I'm pretty confident with this team. I like this team. I like it better than the other league I did, to be honest.
That starting lineup is very strong.
Yeah, no, I love the backcourt. I always tend to have. Last year it was Mitchell and Trey Young I had, and it's that strong backcourt's a great foundation to me. I think having a good center. So yeah, I'm happy with it.
Real quick, Colton. I feel like there could be some culture issues on this roster. Having Brandon Miller and Kevin Porter Jr. on the same team, I'm not sure if I trust that duo.
You see, here's the thing of it is, I'm in the business of winning games, not winning PR competitions. So
Okay, Cleveland Browns.
They're not in the business of winning games either.
I don't like the aura of what Josh just said and what that might mean for my team now. But points are points, and that's what I'm here for. So I appreciate your concerns. You also have Josh Giddey on your team, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's tough to talk.
I mean, if we want to get into real legal issues, I mean, he was proven innocent. Brandon Miller, wrong place, wrong time, I guess. But
okay, let's move on.
Let's move on before this YouTube live stream gets taken down. I wanted to quickly say, Shinra, I just looked at the chat. I'm sure you're off to work now, but thank you for tuning in. Hello. Sad you couldn't be in the draft, but glad you came in for a little bit. Or if you're still there, feel free to chat and whatnot. I'll keep an eye on it now. But let's move on down. We have just 3 teams left. We got one more team that isn't in the room. We got the auto-picked Jimmy's scary team. Trae Young at the point guard, Desmond Bane, who's a sneaky pick, Kawhi Leonard is not a sneaky pick, Tobias Harris is far from a sneaky pick, Anthony Davis is a good pick, Cody White, Aaron Gordon, I wanted him, Vucevic, I don't like that guy. I got nothing personal, just like I don't think he's that good of a player anymore. Anthony Simons, Nick Claxton, Draymond Green, Amen Thompson, and Max Strus. This is kind of an example of a team of why I would not want to auto pick in one of these things, but
yeah, this team is definitely scary is a good word for it.
It's scary. Good thing we don't have the last place.
Scary hours.
Scary, but you got Draymond though.
Yeah, there's some culture issues there.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
All right, we're down to our last 2 teams. We have Alex's Avengers, and then Ben's best team. Alex, would you like to rattle off your squad?
I will. At the point, we have Damian Lillard. Then the Finals MVP, Jaylen Brown. LeBron James. Pretty consistent guy. I look forward to seeing what stats he puts up.
Yeah, never heard of him, but
Nas
that Bronny's
Reed,
dad?
6th man of the year.
Oh, it might be.
Carl Anthony Towns, he is in a new spot, and I can't wait to see what kind of production he has. Austin Reeves, coldest white boy in the league. Then we have R.J. Barrett, who is on a bad Toronto team, so he'll be able to put up numbers like, at least I hope. And then Miles Turner, I had to have him on this team since I can't have him on the Lakers apparently. Tyus Jones, he was one of the best backups in the league. He may start at the point now. We will see for Phoenix, but
Yeah, so he's on the. I think he is going to be their starting PG.
and
I've heard.
I love that because they need a point guard bad. Devin Booker cannot be the point guard and be his best self. So somebody to get the big three touches and good looks. Can't wait to see what kind of assist numbers he puts up. Chris Middleton somehow made it to the second to last round, so thank you all for that. Kelly Oubre Jr., or as I like to call him, Tobias Harris 2.0.
Really?
Yeah, he has put up better numbers than Tobias Harris in the playoffs. Wow.
Oh, like you're saying he's better.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were saying just another like Tobias Harris.
No, he's better, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that.
Excuse me, Kelly Oubre, for the confusion. You're great, especially for the $3 million. I don't know what they have over you.
Whatever happened in those car accidents, probably.
Then,
Keep that man away from cars.
KCP, since the Lakers can't keep him on the team, I'll have him on this team. And Al Horford, with Porzingis out for a little while, he's just always consistent. So can't wait to see if I get any production from him.
Kelly Oubre go to Georgia?
No, Kelly Oubre went to Kansas.
That's close. That's close.
Basically the same thing.
Yeah,
you know?
basically the same. The
Basketball.
same level of
Georgia's a
prestige.
huge basketball
you
school.
know.
So
They had Ant. They had,
That's
hey,
true.
driving related incidents. You know what? That was.
Oh,
I'm glad
There's
you
the
were able to.
correction.
I'm glad you were able to swing that in there because that would have gone right over my head. That was good. Good job, Garrett.
Yeah. No, I touching back on the Tyus Jones thing. I think it's a point I wanted to bring up on the Suns and them being the 6th seed. Him being at point guard, I think, will make a huge difference.
For sure.
And I think making Devin Booker a better player, or at least allowing him to be the best player he can be, allowing KD and be able to get great shots. I think that is a great pickup for them. And that's what I got. But
Yeah, I wasn't scared of them last season. Now I'm scared of them with an actual point
I
guard.
mean, that's what they were missing.
Yeah.
That was the main thing. But and with this new like 3-point centric offense that I'm sure Bud is going to impose, I'm just curious if they have 5 players that. I mean, that was their main weakness was also 3-point shooting.
That's true, yeah.
So Bud knows how to get players good open shots. So they're going to be a fun team to watch.
Yeah, I don't think it's
sure.
going to be any more ISO ball, so that's good.
Yeah. But Ben, you want to round us out there? Ben's best team.
I mean, hopefully it is the best team. But I got Jalen Brunson for my point guard.
Beautiful.
Shooting guard, I got Kyrie Irving.
Love that.
As small forward, I got Brendan Ingram. Jason Tatum as my power forward. And Rudy Gobert as my center. And a rookie that I'm really high on, like I mentioned before, Stephon Castle. I look for him to do a lot of great
I
things.
was wondering where he went.
Yeah, I picked him up. I look for him to have a great year. Keegan Murray, Daniel Gafford, Zach Edey, PJ Washington, Chris Paul, Derek Lively, and TJ McConnell.
I'm gonna say I don't know how fantasy works, but that Derek Lively pick, as much as I can't believe I'm about to make a compliment to another Duke player, and I don't know what's going on with me today.
When you get to basketball, you kind of have to.
Yeah, no kidding. That and those wild kittens. But Luke May shot. But no, Lively could take a step forward, right? Like, I mean, he came on pretty big last year.
He was a great fantasy player his rookie year. I picked him up after like a week or two, and I think he got hurt, or maybe that was last year he got hurt. But yeah, I mean, he's a guy that I just like I said with whoever I said earlier, I forgot. I think it was Keegan or Stephon. I was looking for him later in the rounds, and Ben had already taken him. So I like this team. I will warn you with rookies. I usually try to stay away from them.
Yeah.
They tend to just they'll have one game where they'll give you about 30, and then 4 games where they'll give you a 5, or maybe even struggle to get on the court. But we'll see. I think Zach Edey's they kind of have to by default put him out there, especially with Triple J off. And with Stephon Castle, why wouldn't you get him some minutes out there with Chris Paul? I don't know how he's going to fit next to Chris Paul, like what kind of player that he's going to start out as. But I think those are two safe rookie picks for sure. And you got Chris Paul there as well as insurance if Castle isn't playing as much. So
One of those have to come off the bench. I don't think Chris Paul and Castle play together.
Yeah, I agree. Unless Castle just pulls a shot out of nowhere, which you never know. But I like this team. TJ McConnell, I love this team. I love this team a lot. So especially that starting lineup. I mean, Brunson, Irving, Ingram, if he plays, Tatum and Gobert.
That's what I'm saying. We gave you a lot of crap for football. I can't give you crap for this one. You did very
well.
well.
There was no kickers picked in the 8th round this time, so I cannot give you crap for that.
Draymond's not on the team.
So, time to talk the awards now, sir?
That took a second. Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about the awards, then wrap this thing up. Let's let Logan start since he's over there in the other room. Let him start. Just give your MVP. We'll go around the room with Alex, then to me, Josh, and Ben.
Gotcha. My MVP is none other than Shavante Asian Gilgeous Alexander.
Why did I think you said jaw at first? I thought you were like saying a weird jaw. And
His aura's too
No,
strong.
had to go with the full government
so.
for that one. I definitely think this is his year for it, no doubt.
Garrett, I'm curious what your MVP pick is.
I mean, Logan, I respect you, but you're just wrong. it's the jersey I'm wearing right here.
Okay.
Okay, Alex.
I would also agree with Logan. It's that name that he said. Last year, he was 4th in points per game, 19th in rebounds, 9th in assists, and the team got better. So those stats are just going to get better. I think this is his year. I would go Luka, but I think with him and Kyrie on the same team, it's just not going to be MVP numbers for him.
See, Shea's probably my pick to change the board here. I'll go with Jason Tatum. He's a player that we mentioned earlier has put a chip on his own shoulder, but I think a player that needs to silence the haters. I think he gets way too much hate. Like he is still a top 10 NBA player, and I've seen his shot. It looks a lot better than it looked last year. I mean, you see those workouts that happen, so maybe I'm being fooled by that, but. Give me Jason Tatum to hopefully silence some of the discussion around him because this guy is still a top player in the NBA, and I don't know why people try to act otherwise.
Speaking of players whose teams got better, even though Colton doesn't agree, give me Ant-Man leading the T-Wolves.
I don't disagree with that. I mean, he's on my team, so I hope so.
No, you just didn't agree that the T-Wolves got better with the trade. I truly do believe that.
Oh, yeah, I definitely don't agree with that.
All right, for myself, I'm going with Luka Doncic. I feel like the last couple of years he's been one of the best point guards, obviously, and he's been so close to winning MVP. And I have a feeling this is going to be the year he gets his first MVP.
That was going to be my second pivot was Luka.
Yep.
But back over there to you, Logan. Who do you have winning the Rookie of the Year?
Reed Shepherd.
I knew that was going to happen.
I think his role that he's going to get, I think that's just like instant production from him. I think like guys like Alex Sarr or Zach Reese-Asher, I'm just not too high on them just because I don't really know what their role is going to be yet. I'd say a close second is Zach Edey just because he's another one I think already has that carved out role. And I think give Reed Shepherd exactly what they're planning on doing with him. I think he gets the numbers win Rookie of the Year.
Garrett?
Yeah, I don't know very many rookies.
I love hearing his takes.
I'll throw out a name that I've heard, Dalton Connect.
Wow.
Connect?
Yeah.
What is that?
Connect
No,
four, yeah.
Not only is that not a bad take, like that dude has a legit chance to win it. So.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely has a great chance. I'm just more surprised that you remembered that name because I figured you
See,
just when it's not college
I pay
football.
attention sometimes, okay?
It's not during the NFL.
Yeah.
No, it's not. Speaking of, I did see that Mike Evans got his 100th career receiving touchdown tonight, so congrats to Mike Evans for that.
Hey, congrats, Mike Evans. What's the score in that game?
10-7 Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay.
Let's go.
Okay.
Not good.
What
I
quarter?
got Baker and Evans on my fantasy team, so.
Enough football. Alex, continue with basketball, please.
Well, I was going to go Reed, but now Garrett gave me the confidence. I'm back on the Dalton Connect train.
I influenced someone in basketball.
My goodness.
A shooter in
My name was,
JJ's
the basketball
offense.
guy.
I thought me and Alex were going to have the same exact ballot here.
We
Like, what's
did
going
10
on?
seconds ago. But now that somebody else believes, I believe again.
Yeah.
A shooter in JJ's offense that lacks shooting, he'll be high usage and already proved he can light it up. 35 in the preseason. I don't know if you all saw that. Give me Dalton Connect.
Yep.
Connect 4.
I'm gonna take the other Lakers rookie. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Give me Zach Edey. I mean, that's a pretty slam dunk pick, no pun intended. For me, pretty easy. I think with the role he's going to have early, I don't.
Homer. Sorry, I just came out of nowhere. I don't know what happened.
I actually have a reason behind it.
Yeah,
I
Homer.
was giving it, but now we just move on to Josh.
I'm going Donovan Cleveland. I just think that he can get a lot of minutes after DeAndre Ayton gets his put on the bench.
I'm laughing about it. It sounded like you said Cleveland.
No, but no, I think Donovan will get a lot of minutes out there
Yeah.
in Portland, so it should help him a lot. If he can do anything similar to what he did at UConn, he's got a legit chance.
All right, and for myself, just like Garrett and Alex, my rookie of the year is Dalton Connect. I mean, and sorry, lost my train of thought. But
That's my fault. That's my fault.
Alex is celebrating too much over here.
but yeah, obviously Dalton Connect, what a great preseason he's had. I mean, the other night knocking down 8 threes, I think that's going to be beneficial. And when he was at Tennessee, that was one of his best parts of his game was knocking down those big time shots. So I feel like that's going to be beneficial for this Lakers squad this year. So give me Dalton Connect, rookie of the year.
Talk to me, Ben.
Alex is getting way too excited.
You already know.
That's being instilled in his team. But Logan, who you got for the not rookie of the year, but defensive player of the year?
I feel like this is a pretty popular kick. I'm going to go ahead and say Victor Wembanyama.
Okay. So I'm
I
gonna
feel
have
like,
to
I mean,
pivot.
it's not really a lot to say here. You know, I could throw out a name like Bam Adebayo or someone who's always been a dark horse for it, but I feel like this is Wemby's race to lose.
Okay.
Garrett, can you name a defender?
Does Zach Edey count as a defender?
He sure does play defense.
I'll take Zach Edey.
Appreciate it.
The fact that he's able just to name, so you know what? A lot better than we expected.
I appreciate it, Garrett. I disagree.
Alex?
All right,
Appreciate
since they will literally not let Anthony Davis win Defensive Player of the Year, I'm going to go with Wemby, who should have won it if AD didn't win it last year. Let me give you some stats. 3.6 blocks, led the league last year, 1.2 steals, 75th percentile in defensive rating, first rookie since D-Rob to record the blocks triple-double, also recorded a 5x5 game, and the opposition has 8 fewer points per 100 possessions when he's on the floor. He was the top 3 defender last year in his rookie season. He's definitely winning it this year.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to think of somebody other than Wemby, so I'll let the other two go.
I was going to ask you a question because my pick was also Wemby. It's the most obvious thing in the world.
Yeah.
My longer shot was Triple J. I just sometimes feel like he slept on. His defense is absolutely excellent down there in Memphis. But the second person in odds is Chet. Is Chet's defense really like that he would be number 2 on the list?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I'm going to say
Best interior defender from that draft class that he was in. Yeah.
Okay. I thought I'd throw it to you, Logan, and let you answer that.
No doubt. He is elite shot blocking ability. You know, similar to Wemby, just not as tall, but has that reach that he can just about block anybody driving to the paint.
I'm going to say that is one rivalry I'm very much looking forward to watch proceed through both their careers because it's going to be the comparison of the two of those guys, and it's going to be fun to follow.
Yeah, for myself, I'm going Victor Wembanyama. I mean, from his rookie season, though, his defense is obviously one of the best parts of his game, and I feel like he's going to have a big year, too, ahead of him. So give me Victor Wembanyama.
I'm struggling. It's hard.
Just take Wemby. We're allowed to have it all same picks.
You can say Lou Dort if you want to.
Lou Dort came to mind.
That is a good one.
Lou Dort is a good one. I also had Mikal Bridges in mind, and I feel like I've been hammering that down, like that he was a defensive player of the year runner up. But apparently he's not going to be making many shots, so you might as well at least play good defense, right? So
I'm going to say, not that we can condone gambling, but if you actually like that take, he's 150 to 1.
we would never condone gambling here. Let me pull out my phone. It's FanDuel. No, most improved player. Who you got over there, Logan?
Mine was, I have it written down. The way they do this award is interesting, but I'm gonna say Jalen Williams from the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Shocker. Garrett?
I don't know who can improve.
Just say Smush Parker.
I will not say
He cannot improve.
just,
I mean,
just
that's
I'll,
not much
I'll
worse.
piggyback off of somebody else.
Okay, sure.
For me, I want to say Wemby, but I don't think they're going to give him Defensive Player of the Year and Most Improved. So give me Jalen Suggs. I think the Magic did not run the offense through him enough, especially in the playoffs. So I think they will figure out that they need to do that, and he will be the Most Improved player.
I like switching things up. I don't think I have enough time to go for this one, so I'm just going to go with Suggs as well.
I actually like that a lot, but I'm going to go Josh Giddey. I said already, I truly believe it's going to happen. Give me Josh Giddey.
Additionally, I would put Cody White on that ballot.
That's good.
Yeah, I was going back and forth on who I was going to pick, but now that I'm thinking about it, I'm probably going to go Jalen Suggs. I look for him to have a big year this year in Orlando.
Josh, you like this name. How about this one? Scotty Barnes?
If he improves anymore, he'll be the best player in the league.
Okay,
He's already. He did All-Star
He
last
was an
year?
all-star.
Yeah.
Oh,
Once
okay,
you
never
kind
mind.
of get All-Star, you can't really. I mean, Jaw kind of changed the game when he won Most Improved Player because like he was already a great player. And he just got better, like naturally progressed, and like now that's kind of become the Most Improved Player, which is kind of sad because it's not actually like somebody who, like when
I was gonna
Oladipo
ask,
won it, he was kind of his career was going downward, and then on the Thunder of all teams, and then upward on the Pacers. So what are you
I'm gonna
ask?
say, Logan, you mentioned that there's a way they judge it. Like, is it still just regular votes, or is there like they look into stats specifically? So it's just voting.
Far as I
Yeah,
know,
my only thing is I just feel like the way they give it out has kind of
Okay.
changed over the years. It's not
For
like,
sure.
It's not. It's just like Colton said. I think it's there was talk that like Steph Curry could have gotten a few years ago. Like it didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, I do remember
It's
that.
top
That was-
names in the league instead of actual improving
Because
players.
that's why, like, the leader in odds, again, not that we condone gambling, is Victor Wembanyama. And I'm like, how does that make any sense?
Like he's already like a borderline All-Star player or a borderline all Defensive Player of the Year player in his rookie year. Like obviously he's going to get better. Like it shouldn't be the people that are obviously going to get better. And
No.
I see this discourse like all over the internet too. Like I don't think anybody really agrees with it in like other than the media. The media just is like, oh,
Yeah.
who's the flashy name that we can slap on there instead of. I'm trying to think of some.
It's
like,
almost like
obscure
awarding a
most
comeback player of the
improved
year
players.
for 6 games instead of, coming back from death.
Yeah.
So, Logan, next up, I
All right,
believe
did
is.
you guys give yours? Oh yeah, you said
Yeah,
one,
we did. I believe is Coach of the Year, if I looked at it right. COY, yes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, Coach of the Year.
My Coach of the Year pick
Yeah.
is Jason Kidd with the Dallas Mavericks.
Okay.
He's never won one, and I just want to use this real quick to remind everyone that he got somebody to bump into him so that he could spill a drink for a free timeout. The most genius move in NBA history. Just really wanted to bring that up.
Yeah, but he didn't put 6 players on the field like Oregon put 12. That's the greatest coach move of all time.
Or throw water bottles
So,
on
Garrett,
the field.
who's your
so
coach of the
calls
year?
are reversed.
It's probably I'm gonna go ahead and default to Alex on this, but it's probably Doc Rivers.
Okay.
That's not who he would say, by the way.
That is that's a choice. It could definitely happen because he's a good regular season coach.
I mean, if they get the 1 seed, you'd have to consider it, right?
Yeah, and
that
Milwaukee's
was-
team's better, so
That was 1,000% a joke. I don't know any head
It could-
coaches in the NBA
it
other
could
than Doc
definitely
Rivers.
be possible.
Taylor Jenkins?
Garrett said that with too much.
I feel like
much confidence.
I feel like
Doc is in, baby.
Doc and Darvin Ham have about the same amount of possibility to win this. So mine would be, as Logan just mentioned, Taylor Jenkins for Memphis, because I'm all in on this team. Obviously, they've been dealing with injuries, so it's not really fair to judge how they've been the last couple of seasons, and they're only getting better with potential Rookie of the Year Zach Edey. So give me Taylor Jenkins.
I'm gonna go with Ime Udoka, another team, the Rockets that I'm very high on. I think might be a little PR nightmare, so I guess I need to start thinking about PR nightmares and stuff when it comes to that. But just in terms of, it kind of reminds me of when Tibbs stepped in with the Knicks and got them the 4 or 5 seed. I think that's about where the Rockets project in my mind, and I think the Rockets could. I think he could end up winning it.
I went back and forth between two guys, but I'm going to take the crazy long shot. Give me Billy Donovan after the Bulls pull off an amazing run and make the playoffs.
You're crazy. You're insane. Ben?
For myself, I'm going with the Houston Rockets head coach. How did you say his name again?
You said the Rockets?
Yeah.
Ime Udoka.
Ime Udoka. Yeah.
I like that. I like that pick.
Yep.
Glad I'm not the only one on this island. Josh.
Willie Green was
I
going to be
wanna-
my other choice, by the way.
That's better than Billy
That's
Donovan.
better than-
Yeah.
Like,
But
dog,
if the
dog,
Bull- if-
do you, have you been watching King of the Fourth Quarter recently?
No, I don't know.
He's not even high on him.
That's fine.
He
I drink
doesn't
Kool-Aid.
even see them making the plan.
I drink
This
Kool-Aid.
guy,
That's what I do.
watches every single Bulls game.
I know he is. I know how big of a Bulls fan he is. Just because I don't watch him, I know who he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, the number one streamer in NBA, basically. Yes.
If you like
Streamer's a
teams that
word,
get
but-
eliminated in the first round consistently, Billy Donovan's your guy. Like, that is your guy. So go ahead and take him if you want. That's interesting.
That's a take. I also pulled up the list of
Yeah, you should
most
have just went
improved
back and been
players
head
that I
coach at
would
Kentucky. Would have been a better job at that than the guy they hired.
very much love to list off here. Starting with Boris Diaw in 2006, and then actually let's start with in 2005 with Bobby Simmons.
Nice.
That's a name that
Hoop Grid's legend.
he is a Hoop Grids legend. But like Monte Ellis, Hito Turkoglu, Danny Granger, legend, Aaron Brooks, and then you kind of get this change of like Kevin Love and then Paul George. Paul George kind of made sense because he was kind of a bench guy, and then like the next year he wasn't. But Ryan Anderson in 2012, Goran Dragic, and then we get like Giannis, which is fair because he kind of came out of nowhere. Like he was a top pick, but he was a prospect. TJ McCollum was another good one. Jimmy Butler. Victor Oladipo, Pascal Siakam, all great ones. Ingram even because he kind of had some down years leading up to 2020. And then we just get Ja Morant. And now it's Lauri Markkanen, that's not a bad one. And then there's Tyrese Maxey, which like, okay, he just kind of developed as you expected Tyrese Maxey to develop. Yeah, that's just kind of the change. It's like it's gone from like players who we weren't sure what their outlook on their career was going to be. And then like that very next year, they put up like an all-star worthy season. Now it's just like, okay, this player that we already kind of project to be an all-star, they became an all-star, so let's give him most improved player.
Yeah, since Kevin Love, Ryan Anderson's the only one that hasn't been an all-star
Yeah,
on that list. So
Ryan Anderson was the Rockets at one point, right?
Rockets,
did play for
Pelicans,
Rockets.
Magic.
yeah, I remember most on the Magic,
big
but
dude
yeah.
who could shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But yeah, enough of my spiel on the most improved player and why I despise
All
what it's
NBA
become.
first team. So go ahead, sir.
I already
Logan.
I already know who.
Well, yeah. So, based on how you guys described it, with the positional restrictions, if those weren't in place, I would say Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Luka Doncic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Domantas Sabonis, and Victor Wembanyama.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
I like
with that
that.
restriction, I would swap out Sabonis for Jason Tatum.
For me,
Wait, Garrett, name 5 NBA players.
No.
Come on, name 5 NBA players.
Just stand your ground, Garrett. Tell him no.
Ja Morant.
Alex, go ahead.
John Morant.
Exactly.
Alex.
I got SGA, then Ant, Giannis, Cat, and then Wemby.
Okay, I like that. Dang, Cat. You think Cat's gonna kind of take that second? Yeah, I guess he kind of has to take that second role. But like, what do you see like his season looking like? I'm curious. Like in terms of like stats wise.
He could be a 25 points per game type of player. I think on nights that Jalen Brunson doesn't have it, he should be able to come through, and he's one of the most consistent players in the league. So I see him having like an All NBA season.
All right. I'm sorry I put you on the spot.
No,
there,
it's all
but
good.
I'm curious. Yeah, I'm taking Shea and Luka at the guard, Jason Tatum at the forward, and Giannis. And then, assuming we have centers, I'm gonna go with Sabonis. I'm gonna go with Sabonis over Wemby. That's probably a bad take, but give me the starting 5 member Sabonis.
For me, it is a new era of the NBA. I'm
Oh,
taking
God,
Ja at the point, Ant at the shooting guard. Tatum will retain the small forward. I couldn't really think of anyone else who plays a small forward position that has half the talent as Jason Tatum. So that was part of the issue. Outside LeBron, don't worry, don't jump out of your chair and fight me. Okay? Power forward.
Lucky I got the seatbelt on. That's all I'm saying.
You want me putting timeout like that? Like that video. Zion at power forward and Wemby at center.
All right.
That's insane.
All right. For my NBA first team. All right. I got Luka, Jason Tatum, Nikola Jokic, SGA. This isn't
He did
NASCAR.
it again. He did it again.
I'm not gonna lie, I forgot
GA.
Jokic existed for some reason.
No,
Jokic is
talking
my
about-
center.
What is it?
Just to
Something
just to
thing.
rewrite the
And
wrongs.
last but not least, I got Karl Anthony Towns.
Okay.
Yep.
Like it.
Might have also forgot about Jokic, but that's okay. I'm sticking on my list.
Dog, how the hell did I forget about Nikola?
Yeah, not the best center on the planet. I like I
The
said,
best
though, it's just a
player
new
on the
era.
planet.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
He's over
Jokic.
tending to his horses.
Yeah, that's what it was.
But I
yeah.
think the last thing we do need, and I don't think it's on the list, is the finals prediction.
yeah, that's where I was headed.
I know, okay, I'm taking your job. It's okay.
Yeah, no, that's the
I
point.
forgot where you're at. I'm gonna sit over here. It's the problem. You're over
Yeah,
here.
so now you have the host. Yeah. Okay. So now we are on the conference finals and finals predictions. Now I kind of based mine off, which is stupid. I kind of based mine off of the bracket I made here on Enjoy Basketball, which is a pretty fun place to make a prediction. But yeah, I'll go ahead and let you start, Logan. What you got for let's do conference finals and then around and then NBA finals and champion.
Yeah. Eastern Conference. Give me Boston over New York in 6.
Mhm.
And then in the West, like I talked about before, I think Phoenix makes a deep run. Give me OKC over Phoenix in 6. And
Okay,
then
Phoenix.
in the NBA Finals, I couldn't go against them. Give me the Oklahoma City Thunder in 7.
No, you said it earlier. There was the foreshadowing. You said earlier you think that the Thunder can beat the Celtics in a 7-game series. I don't know if that was on air or not, but I just remember you saying it. So
We have a very similar matchup there. Logan, Eastern Conference Finals, I have Boston beating New York. And the Western Conference Finals, I have OKC beating Memphis. Again, a team I'm very high on, as most of us are. And then in the finals, I do have Boston repeating. I just think that team from top to bottom is just too good.
I heard the desk.
Not
But
good.
I'm-
Not good.
I'm
Not
going
good.
with Boston as much as I hate it as a Lakers fan.
I am going with the retooled Oklahoma City Thunder in the West, going up against. I think it's going to be Dallas in there as well. I think you got Luka and Kyrie. I think Kyrie's going to not play like he did last year, and give me Dallas once again. Give me Dallas in 6 to make the NBA Finals. Over in the East, though, I have the Knicks and Celtics. And I'm going to be the weirdo. Actually, I think Josh might have the Knicks, too, from what he said in past times. So I'm taking the Knicks on this one. I just want them to win. I love Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson. So give me the Knicks to win that one. And go ahead and give me the Mavericks to end up winning the overall championship with Luka Doncic probably cementing himself as the best player in the league here. Finals MVP.
For me, I'm going Knicks over Celtics. Like I've basically said, and we've all said, they're the clear 2 best teams in the East. But I'd like the Knicks, if they can be healthy, with the Cat trade to get over the hump.
Hopefully Mike Hill fixes his shot.
Yeah, and then on the other side, ironically enough, I've hinted it, I like the T-Wolves over the Kings in the Western Conference Finals. Yes, I know, horrible hot take.
forgot he did
Yes, but I'm buying into what the Kings are this year, absolutely 100%. But that being said, so yeah, you're not the only one buying into DeMar DeRozan, Garrett. I'm sure Logan's jaw's on the ground if we go to the camera over there. There it is. That's the look I was expecting. But no, I buy Minnesota way too much. I love every trade they did. I love the draft they had, and I will take Ant-Man Finals MVP and Minnesota winning it all over the Knicks in 5.
All right. So for my Eastern Conference Finals, I got the Celtics and the New York Knicks, like we talked about, 2 top teams in the Eastern Conference. I got the Celtics winning in Game 6. Obviously, Tatum and Brown and a lot of other players coming back. I feel like that's going to be beneficial. Moving on to the West, I got the Mavericks versus the Oklahoma City Thunder, and I think the Oklahoma City Thunder win Game 7 in this matchup.
And then your finals.
Oh, finals. I got the Celtics over the Thunder in Game 7.
You almost had me, man. I was with you the whole way. No.
Who wins Finals MVP?
He's
Ben.
over on Cloud 9 over there.
Who, me?
Hey Ben. Who wins Finals MVP?
Oh, Finals MVP. I would say Jason Tatum.
The one he was robbed of.
Right is wrong. He was robbed
Yeah.
that one. I don't
Yeah,
care what
he
anyone
was
says.
robbed.
I'm not even like a huge Jason Tatum fan. I dislike it when people start like just hating on people because they're corny. Like, yeah, he's corny, but he's still a hell of a ball player.
We did it.
That was very corny. But yeah, I think we have wrapped up everything that we wanted to talk about. We're over 2 hours once again, so success there. Is there any last second hot takes, stuff you want to get out there on the air?
No, clearly I've had the hottest takes today.
The Kings in the conference finals. You're done.
I truly, I'm buying in. I like.
I hope you're right.
Yeah.
Honestly, if the Kings made it to the conference finals, that would be one hell of a run. Seeing DeMar DeRozan fall short once again would be sad, but yeah, I hope you're right.
Grizz over the Knicks in 5 in the finals.
Chris Paul leads the league in assists.
I don't even think that's a hot take. With Wemby? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I talked about it earlier on our other show. I thought maybe San Antonio was about to become Lob City too.
That's good.
With
I like that.
CP3 and Wemby there.
Point guard.
Sochan can get up there.
At
I think Keldon
65 years
Johnson's
old,
got some hops.
CP3's going to do it. 65 years old, CP3's going to do it. He's going to lead the league in
Still
assists.
won't win a finals though.
True.
They don't call him CP0 rings for nothing. All right. Well, the last call. Any hot takes? Anything at all? Wizards win it all. That's my hot take. did I
By that win the #1 pick again? Yeah, that makes sense.
Did I put money at the +5 or 50,000? Maybe not. But we'll just see how
And I
it
was
goes.
wasting money.
No, I didn't touch that. Yeah, that's all. I guess we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you all for listening. Thank you. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to. We hit 50?
No, I was sitting
yeah.
at 48 or 49, I think it was. So
49.
we're right there.
Almost there.
It's all right. We're almost there. Once we get to 50, though, we'll be giving away a $50 gift card to Fanatics.
Oh, I can't wait to win that.
Yeah. Hey, Alex.
Bad news. You've been on the show. You can't win it.
Oh, if you're on the show, you can't win it?
No,
Oh.
he's part of the show.
Oh,
That
look.
would look
Sorry,
cool.
Logan.
Sorry, Logan.
As a guest.
That was the whole. That
My
was the
heart
whole
just got
spiel.
ripped out of my chest.
Suddenly we just got down to 45 followers. I don't know what just happened.
How to lose subscribers 101. All right. Well, be sure to hit the subscribe button to be entered into that. But also follow us on Twitter at NorseBWPod. Subscribe. I put subscribe twice on this one, so good one to me. But thank you all for coming on to the show. Thank you to our guest Alex and
Thanks for having
Logan
me.
Hatfield over there. Love having you on the show. At the bring it
Absolutely.
back sometime. You guys are just never going to do a baseball show, huh?
Blame baseball. Look, baseball.
That was supposed to be
literally-
your debut.
Yeah, baseball made absolutely no help of that with their scheduling. It was literally one day off, and it's like we all had class that day, and then it was like, okay, might have another day, and then Logan had something, and Paris had something, and I was like, well, we're not just doing the two of us, so I mean, we're just like, all right, I guess we're just not gonna do it. So yeah, it went out the window.
Yeah.
But you know what? Maybe next year when baseball rolls around, we can make something happen.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah. Speaking of podcasts, RP The Raid. That's my final word.
Oh man, don't even
God,
make me
dude,
think
the
about
dagger.
it, man.
The
Right.
dagger.
Best podcast that never was. You know what I
That's
mean?
right.
Well, you want to shout out the Beyond the Score as well?
Oh, yeah. Beyond the Score. Follow us on
Presented
Twitter.
by the Northerner.
Always. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at BT_, then the word score, and YouTube at Beyond the Score 123. We don't have a giveaway. Sorry about that.
gotta get on the giveaways.
You have to talk to your bosses over there.
That's right, yeah. We'll give you a magazine.
Hey, you got one right there too.
This is for you.
You know you want one, but yeah, I think that's all we got there. Once again, thank you to Bill and NK Media Services as well. Thank you, Garrett, for your work over there in director's chair. I know you were working hard, especially having to do this and try and act like you know a thing about basketball. Not that you really, not that it worked, but thanks again. And yeah, thanks for the work Bill put in making this live show possible before it all started. So yeah, that's all I got. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.